Can support us completed novel house in link below clip. Thank you for coming and love the sharing story chapter 1541. Dear Showbiz, I trust you've been well. On this night, at Zhong Yi's house, the main door of the villa was open. Zhong Yi was busy washing vegetables and cooking the dishes in the open kitchen all by himself. It was going to be the first meeting for the main cast of the drama In the Name of the People. Zhong Yi had chosen not to hold the gathering at a restaurant this time. Instead, he held it at his house because it meant a lot to him. Outside, the door was being knocked on. Ninglan was the first to arrive. "Zhong, may I come in?" Zhong Yi said, holding a kitchen knife in his hands. "Come in, the door's open." Ninglan looked around. "Where's Minister Wu?" Zhong Yi said. "Oh, her? She's working overtime today." Ninglan broke into a smile. She didn't even change out of her shoes and stepped in with her high heels still on. "You could have said so earlier. I wouldn't have knocked otherwise." Zhong Yi laughed and said, "Big sis, can't you be a little more courteous?" Ninglan chuckled and said, "What's the need to be polite with you?" Zhong Yi ordered her, "By the way, help me take care of my daughter. She's upstairs." Soon after, Ninglan went upstairs to bring Cici down. From outside, Yao Jiancai entered the villa. "Yo, kid, you're personally whipping up the courses?" Zhong Yi grinned. "But of course. I gotta show you guys what I'm capable of, after all." Yao Jiancai asked, "Is your wife around?" "No, she's working overtime today," Zhong Yi replied. Yao Jiancai also came in casually and started rummaging through the cabinets for tea leaves without any courtesy. "Where's the Da Hong Pao? Hurry up and hand them over." Cici, who had just been brought downstairs, asked, "Daddy, who are they?" Zhong Yi patted his daughter on her head. "They're your uncles and aunties. Have you greeted them yet?" Cici shook her head as she became rather shy. Yao Jiancai got rather excited. "This is your daughter. Do you know me, little girl?" Cici tugged at her father's shirt. "Daddy, can you play with me?" Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Daddy is preparing some good food. Go find Auntie Ning and play with her." Ninglan clapped her hands and said, "Come here, Cici, Auntie will play with you. Let your daddy cook dinner for us." Outside the doorway, Zhongxia also slowly walked in. "Is everyone busy with something?" "Ha ha." Yao Jiancai greeted Zhongxia. Ninglan smiled and said, "Grandma Zhong, this kid even managed to convince you to make a return." Zhongxia smiled back. "Yes, I couldn't refuse him at all." Then she asked Zhong Yi, "Is your wife around?" Before Zhong Yi could answer her, Jiang Hanwei had also arrived. The moment Jiang Hanwei came into the house, he said, "Minister Wu isn't at home." Zhong Yi rolled his eyes. "She's not around. She's working overtime today and probably won't be back before 9 p.m. "Hi, but this is really interesting. Why are all of you asking whether my wife is around or not the moment you step in?" Ninglan laughed and said, "Your wife is now an important minister at the Central Publicity Department. If she were around, do you think we would dare to speak so casually? We'd have to behave ourselves." Zhong Yi said, "Don't worry about her. She is her, and I am me." Dong Shanshan arrived shortly after as well. "Zhong, is your wife?" Before she could finish asking, Zhong Yi was already answering, "My wife is not around. Make yourself at home." All of the guests arrived. Sun Chishuo, a big name in the theater scene. Xu Han, a former A-lister. Jiang Bin, a veteran actor who had debuted 30 years ago. Over a dozen people had gathered here, but none of them needed any introduction to one another. Everyone knew each other, although some were more familiar with others, while some were just acquaintances. Half an hour later, the dishes were served and the drinks were waiting. Zhong Yi said confidently, "Come, have a taste of my cooking." Dong Shanshan smiled and took a bite of the food. "It's pretty all right." Ninglan smacked her lips. "It's edible." Only Xu Han was patronizing. After all, she wasn't all that close to Zhong Yi in the past. "It's quite delicious. I really couldn't have expected director Zhong to be so good at cooking." Zhong Yi said, when my wife broke her leg years ago, I had the opportunity to learn and practice. Ninglan raised her glass. May I suggest that we have a toast first? It's not easy for the group of us to gather here today. Especially for old Jiang. I really couldn't have expected that you managed to convince him to join. Jiang Bin wondered, yeah, didn't you two have some disagreements back then? Jiang Hanwei said indifferently, work is work, and private matters remain private. Ninglan asked, why has Shanshan come as well? You aren't lacking opportunities, right? Dong Shanshan said with a smile, he came to my studio, crying and begging me to join the cast. My heart softened at the sight, so I said yes to him. Zhong Yi was floored. Did I? Everyone laughed. With the first toast, it got lively on the dinner table. Zhong Yi stood up and said, allow me to say a few words. I gathered everyone here today for the first meeting, but it's actually just a party for old friends. All of us here should know each other, right? Some of us have deeper friendship with others, while some of us might even have a grudge against someone. But with that toast earlier, and with this dinner party, let's all agree to turn over a new leaf. Let's gather all of our strength and focus it onto the project and act well for the drama. It's time that us old-timers produce some results for the world to see, so don't screw it up. Yao Jiansai said, I'm just afraid that you'll be the one screwing up. Ninglan agreed, yeah, all of us here should be best actors and best actresses, right? Zhong Yi blinked. Is that so? Shu Han smiled. Of course. I don't think there's a need to mention more about old Ning's achievements. The number of Best Actress awards that she's won are uncountable, and I myself have gotten it twice before. Jiang Hanwei said stiffly, I've won it 4 times. Yao Jiansai laughed and said, I've gotten it once, and another 4 for Best Supporting Actor. Jiang Bin smiled. I've not counted it before, but I've probably won 2 or 3 domestic awards too. Sun Chishaor said, do theatre awards count? If it does, then I've won 8 or 9 awards. Dong Shanshan looked at Zhong Yi. I've won it once as well. Zhong Yi said in surprise, you have won too. Dong Shanshan smiled and said, I got it last year, but it was just a Best Actress award for a short film. Ninglan said in amusement, the Best Actress for a short film is a Best Actress award nonetheless. Zhong Yi wiped away his sweat. So I'm the only one who isn't a former winner? Dong Shanshan said, it's not only that. You haven't even acted in any dramas before. Zhong Xia was also laughing from all of this. She said with a sigh, for someone who hasn't even acted in a TV drama before, he actually dares to gather everyone to act in a drama? Zhong, just how bold do you have to be to do something like that? In the entire entertainment industry, when it comes to courage, I really can't think of anyone else who is braver than you. Zhong Yi smiled and said, then why did all of you dare to take part? Shu Han laughed. That's because we all know how capable you are. Ninglan smirked. Yeah. Other people might have forgotten about how capable you are, but how could we? This time, it's only you who can manage to convince us veterans to come out of retirement to join you. Zhong Yi cupped his fists and said, thank you for your love, everyone. Now then, all this talk is putting so much stress on me. I'll do my utmost not to drag you best actors and best actresses down with me. Although I'm the director, I still hope that everyone will criticize and correct me freely if there are any problems that I cause during filming. I promise that I won't get angry. Everyone rolled their eyes. Are you just the director? The project manager? The producer? The executive director? The protagonist? You have a part in all of those roles, so who would dare point out your mistakes like you asked? Don't listen to his nonsense anymore. Let's drink. Right? When others criticized this fellow back then, he would hit back at them with a barrage of criticism. If he were someone who could accept criticism so easily, he wouldn't have offended so many people years ago. Ha, that's right. Do you guys still remember that one time? Zhong unexpectedly turned the police station upside down with those poems of his. They're still inscribed in the walls there and have become an attraction of the police station. I heard about this matter back then as well. But the details, I don't really remember them. Little Dong, quickly tell us about it. Shan, quiet. Ha, but everyone wants me to talk about it. All right then, I'll spill some of your embarrassing secrets too if that's the case. Get lost. Banter. Jokes. Reminiscing. Speaking of the past. Everyone drank heartily in happy moods. Eventually, Zhongyi suggested, "Come, let's take a photo together." Ninglan said, "Sure, this is a day worth remembering." Dong Shanshan asked, "Does this mean that the production crew is officially set up?" Zhongyi smiled. "Yes, it's officially set up." Zhongxia said, "Come, let's take the picture." Shuhan said, "Grandma Zhong, you stand in the middle." Zhongyi said, "Quick, I'm gonna take the picture." 3, 2, 1. Cheese. In this picture were all sorts of silly behavior. Dong Shanshan made bunny ears over Zhongyi's head. Zhongyi mischievously pinched Yao Jinsai's face. Ninglan pinched Shuhan's chin. Shuhan was laughing and tiptoeing to appear much taller than everyone else. With the photo taken, everyone gathered around to look at it. Then all of them burst out laughing. Even Jiang Hanwei couldn't help but shake his head in amusement. Dong Shanshan said, "Quick, put this up on Weibo." Zhongyi didn't want to. "But I look really ugly in this photo." Yao Jinsai said, "My face was already all distorted, yet I'm not grumbling about it being ugly." Ninglan said, "This is a pretty good shot. Quickly post it." Zhongxia said, "We shouldn't just post the picture alone. We should write something to go along with it too." Shuhan said, "We could inform people that our production crew has been set up." "What should we write then?" Zhongyi asked. Shuhan smiled. "That's your job." Yao Jinsai said, "Yeah, we're not as talented as you when it comes to writing showy." Ninglan looked at him. "You've been locked away for 3 years. Surely you didn't become stupid during that time? You can still write, right?" A bunch of washed-up veterans were behaving mischievously like teenagers. Perhaps deep down in their hearts, none of them wished to admit that they were old. That was the reason they came. That was the reason they were making a return to the industry today. For dignity. For beliefs. Or maybe it was for that lost honor. Zhongyi laughed and said, "All right then." Uploading the picture, Zhongyi closed his eyes and thought for a while. Then he opened his eyes and started typing on his phone with a smile. Very quickly, Zhongyi's first Weibo post since his return appeared and showed itself to the world. The original Weibo post went, "The torrents of the Yangtze wash away heroes of yore, right and wrong, success and failure, all are no more. Green hills remain the same, deep the setting sun spreads its flame. Fishermen with grey locks work on rivers and banks, the scenery and good times simply blanks. They lug jugs of spirits and drink at ease, chatting about the past and smiling in the breeze." Finally. At the end were 2 simple lines. "Dear Showbiz, I trust you've been well?" From Zhongyi and the main cast of In the Name of the People. Yao Jinsai shouted, "Great." Ninglan said excitedly, "Well written." Shuhan gave him the thumbs up. "What a good torrent of the Yangtze. What a good green hills remain the same. What a good deep the setting sun spreads its flame. What a good dear Showbiz, I trust you've been well." With just a few sentences, it left a soul-stirring impression. Chapter 1542, As Reckless as Ever. In the morning. It was getting rowdy on Weibo. The Immortal by the River 1, The Torrents of the Yangtze, by Zhongyi, along with his selfie with Ninglan, Dong Shanshan, Jiang Hanwei, Shuhan, and the others had created a huge commotion. There was just too much information within it that could be processed, so much so that it dumbfounded a lot of people as everyone crazily discussed it. However, Zhongyi did not care about the online comments. He had come to the central publicity department early in the morning with Wu Ziqing and borrowed a small conference room. The production crew was about to start filming, and the equipment, venue, and actors were more or less set in stone. However, the most important matter of the funding still remained unresolved. They had already done an expense calculation for the initial funding of 30 million renminbi that was supposed to cover the cost of filming. However, this did not include the miscellaneous expenses. Unless the actors did not take a single cent for their work, or the accommodation arrangements and packed lunches were done away with, they would barely have enough to spend even if they scrimped and saved. But how could they possibly do that? The Central Publicity Department was also unwilling to use any social funds, so there was only one last option left. Zhong Yi could only turn to using advertisements to get more money. There was a knock on the door. Zhong Yi said, "Come in." Old Wu's new secretary pushed open the door and came in. "Brother Zhong, I've brought the people over." There were around 8 advertisers who entered the room. They were all old acquaintances that Zhong Yi had contacted. After coming into the conference room, the group of them turned very cautious. This was, after all, their first time coming to the Central Publicity Department to discuss a deal. This was also Zhong Yi's intention as well. He had to fly the flag of this place since he was no longer as influential and popular. In that case, surely the name of the Central Publicity Department should do the job, right? Come, have a seat, everyone," Zhong Yi said with a smile. Secretary CI and another supervisor who was in charge of overseeing the project also joined the meeting. Zhong Yi bluntly said, "There are no outsiders in here. We've all worked together before on advertisement projects. I'm sure that every one of you has already heard that the Central Publicity Department is funding an unprecedented, blockbuster, anti-corruption drama. I've accepted the job and will be the producer and director. That's why I've invited all of you here to talk about certain collaborations on this project. I tend to take very good care of my old friends, so I did not sell off any advertising opportunities yet. I'll be leaving that for everyone here." The advertisers gave each other a look and seemed to have a lot of concerns, but none of them said anything. Zhong Yi blinked. "What's the matter?" Boss Liu finally spoke up. "Zhong, we've made a lot of money from our past collaborations with you, and we've never suffered a loss whenever we worked with you. We're all old friends, so now that you're back, all of us should be showing you some support. But this is a political drama we're talking about, so it's definitely going to be a little sensitive. It won't be easy to insert any advertisements." Zhong Yi said in amusement, "Why would it not be easy to insert them?" Boss Li added, "It'd be fine if this were a commercial collaborations. But for a drama like this," as he spoke, he cast a wary look at both Secretary CI and Supervisor Ku. Zhong Yi said, "It's fine, just speak." Boss Li smiled wryly. "For a drama like this, ads definitely won't be allowed in plain sight, isn't that right? Our company is currently advertising a product called Great River Medicinal Wine. If it's just going to be a few covert shots here and there, the advertising is not going to work effectively for us." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "How about this? I'll think up a plan for you." Boss Li said with some interest, "Go on." Zhong Yi lowered his head and flipped through the script. Suddenly, he banged on the table. "I've got it. There's a scene where a prosecutor was hit by a truck and turned into a vegetable. Lying in a hospital bed, there was nothing that the family could do. At this point, I'll add a close-up caption for you. It will go like this: Great River Medicinal Wine, drink away your sickness." Secretary CI was disgusted. Supervisor Ku nearly fainted. That guy has turned into a vegetable. How do you expect him to drink away his sickness? He can't even drink water by himself. As if he could drink any of that damned wine. But Boss Li said excitedly, Will that be allowed?" Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Of course it will." Boss Li stood up. "I'll sign on for it then. I'll sign on to advertise." Boss Liu said in a dumbfounded manner, "Zhong, what about our Jiaocao brand of cosmetics?" Zhong Yi flipped through his script again. Very quickly, he snapped his fingers and pointed, saying, "How about this line? I'll change this line in the script, then get the role Dong Shanshan will be playing to use your cosmetics after washing her face in the morning. She will say after that, for good skin, use Jiaocao day and night." Secretary CI was stunned. "You can change the script just like that?" Zhong Yi said, "Of course, I'm the screenwriter, so I can change it however I want." Boss Liu was very happy. Good. I'll accept this ad insert. And we'll go ahead with the agreed price as spoken over the phone." The other bosses were also getting excited. "What about us? Teacher Zhong, what about us? Give us a product placement as obvious as possible. Right, we don't want any subtle advertising. We want it to be as obvious as it can be. Don't get anxious. One by one, everyone will be included. Adding captions. Changing the lines in the script. Having some writing on the shirts. Every other idea that they came up with for the advertisements was getting more and more unconventional. Crooked tricks, wonderful tricks, Zhong Yi was full of them. In the end, Supervisor really couldn't keep looking on. Mr. Zhong, why you can't do something like that? Zhong Yi said without a care, why not? Secretary CI wiped her sweat away. This is such blatant advertising. You're just adding in whatever you can think of. Don't forget that this is an anti-corruption drama. Aren't you kinda deviating too far from that if you do this? They were people from the organization. Regarding such matters, they were definitely going to have more reservations. But Zhong Yi found this to be very normal. After all, he was very experienced and had been doing such things since many years ago. Was this even considered a big deal? That was how the people from my previous world did it too. You don't wish to fork out more money nor agree with turning to social funds, yet you're refusing to allow the advertisers to do some blatant advertising of their products. Does such a good deal exist in the world? They're the ones forking out the money, so of course we have to handle it well for them. 1 advertiser. 3 advertisers. 5 advertisers. The advertisement contracts were signed one after another. The lack of funding was finally resolved. Zhong Yi was very happy that they could finally start their production work. However, Secretary CI and Supervisor could not feel happy no matter what. They kept thinking that these advertisements were simply too immoral and had no bottom line. However, when they suddenly remembered the wedding that happened between Zhong Yi and Minister Wu those years ago, they looked at each other and saw the helplessness in each other's eyes. Thinking back to that time, for someone who could even turn their own wedding into an advertisement and product launch, what bottom line could he possibly have? Forget it, he can do whatever he wants. In any case, it wasn't like they could do anything about it either. The two of them suddenly turned very pessimistic. They felt that the illustrious reputation of their central publicity department was going to be ruined in the hands of Zhong Yi. Having left the entertainment industry for so many years, they couldn't have expected that the character of Minister Wu's husband would still be the same as before. He was still as bold and reckless as ever. At the same time. On Weibo. This is so hecking nostalgic. How many years has it been since we've seen a poem from Zhong Yi? Hi, it's a pity that the times have changed so quickly. Why has this bunch of former big names gathered together? Who knows? What's this in the name of the people referring to? They're going to film a show? Of these people, other than Dong Shanshan, aren't all of the others washed up? And even if it is Dong Shanshan, how can she fight the popularity of those young hunks? Which show these days aren't headed by a cast of male idols? For them, there isn't even one stud on board, so what show can they possibly shoot? Eventually, the details were revealed on the news. Central Publicity Department funds the production of an anti-corruption drama. Zhong Yi's first job is here. Zhong Yi takes on his first drama series. The title of the drama is confirmed, In the Name of the People. The list of starring cast members is released: Zhong Yi, Yao Jiancai, Ning Lan, Dong Shanshan, Shanshan, etc. Ning Lan's first return to show business after her marriage? Zhong Yi's late-night post on Weibo, a group of veterans take on the industry again. The people were dumbfounded. What? The investment amount is only 30 million renminbi. Are they really going to film the show? Asterisk faints asterisk for a drama based on such a serious topic and with a political message, who would want to watch it? This is going to be dead on arrival. Has Teacher Zhong directed a TV drama before? Like hell he has. For someone who has never directed or acted in a TV drama before, he's actually leading a group of has-been celebs to take on an anti-corruption drama? Are these people crazy? I've come across daring people, but I've never come across people as daring as them. Ha 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 ha, this fellow is still as reckless as ever. Pfft, I wanna see how face-smacking Zhong will handle this. Can face-smacking Zhong still be the old face-smacking Zhong? Hi, who knows? In comparison, my attention is going to be more on Hunk Lee Xiao's new TV drama. Yeah, I heard that the production has already begun. It's a big production with an investment of 500 million yuan and is headed by a well-known director. When you put it like that, it really makes Zhong Yi's drama series feel non-existent. At the team office of a male idol. A. Zhong Yi, Ning Lan, and Yao Jiancai are going to shoot a drama? Looking at the time, I suppose they will be scheduled for the same slot as us. Ignore them. They're just a bunch of old-timers messing around. There's nothing to worry about. Haha, that's true. At Chen Guang and Fan Wenli's house. Ah. Those guys had a party? Haha, it's gonna be interesting. I'm also looking forward to seeing how the drama's plot will develop. At Xiaodong's house. Li Xiaoxian was around as well. Teacher Zhong has really made his return. That's great. Looking at them, why do I feel like I'm suddenly wriggling with excitement? Me too. At his eldest younger sister's house. Cao Dan clenched her fists. Bro, you can do it. Show them that you're still relevant. Chapter 1543, Zhong Yi's daughter goes back to school in the morning. At home. Wu Ziqing was helping Zhong Yi pack his luggage. How long will you be away for? Zhong Yi smiled and said, at least a month. Wu Ziqing nodded and smiled. You don't have to be worried about anything at home, I'll take care of it all. Just film the drama. When you get back, I'll hold a reception for you. Zhong Yi hugged Wu Ziqing, who was kneeling on the floor and packing his luggage for him, from behind. My wife is still the best. I had wanted to spend more time with you and our daughter since I just came back. It hasn't even been half a month, but I have to go away again. Hi, look at me, why can't I just seem to sit still? Wu Ziqing smiled. After packing the luggage, she stood up and adjusted Zhong Yi's collar. It's good to be active. I gave you the project, after all. Since you have to do it well. Don't disappoint those who are still supporting you and show them what you're capable of. Zhong Yi said, okay. Cici looked a little sad. Daddy. Zhong Yi smiled and picked her up. What is it, my dear? Don't go, Cici said. Wu Ziqing smiled. Daddy will be back soon. Cici said unhappily, Cici has to go to school today. I want Daddy to come with me. Wu Ziqing said, didn't we already agree that Mommy will go with you? Cici tugged at Zhong Yi's collar and said softly, I want Daddy to go with me. Wu Ziqing smiled and said, you've clinging to your daddy. Cici said shyly, teacher hasn't met Daddy before. When he heard that, Zhong Yi's heart melted. So he said, all right, Daddy will go with you to school. Wu Ziqing said, you still have a flight to catch. Zhong Yi smiled and said, the production crew's flight is in the afternoon, so there's still time. Cici immediately cheered up. Oh. Long live Daddy. Wu Ziqing reminded, drive slowly then. I know. Let's go, my dear. Holding his luggage in one hand, Zhong Yi carried his daughter in his other arm and walked out of the villa. Cici was elated. At the kindergarten. Today was the school's reopening day. The school had already prepared a public class for the parents had to sit in on. Many of the parents had arrived with their children very early in the morning. Zhong Yi brought Cici in and entered the kindergarten classroom. Everyone's eyes focused on him. The parents were all very surprised to see him. Everyone was really excited to see Zhong Yi in person. The children looked at Zhong Yi and Cici with curiosity. Several of the young children who usually played with Cici ran over to her. Cici, is this your daddy? Yes. He's my daddy. Is your daddy a big star? Yes, my daddy is amazing. Your daddy is so handsome. He. Cici was feeling really proud. She pulled on her father's hand and showed him off to everyone. At this moment, the teacher entered. Cici's form teacher was a woman who had the surname Kui. She wasn't old, and was at most in her 20s. Judging by her appearance, she was a very well-mannered teacher. Teacher Kui also spotted Zhong Yi. In the moment, her heart couldn't stop pounding. She was also Zhong Yi's fan years ago. Although Zhong Yi's position in her heart had been replaced by several male idols, that didn't stop her from getting somewhat excited at meeting her former idol. However, it didn't show on her face. She had to treat every parent equally. After a simple opening speech, the public class officially began. Teacher Kui said with a kind expression, "During the holidays, did all of you finish the homework that teacher assigned? All right, teacher will test you a little. Who wants to answer the first question?" Me. 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 I want to answer it. The children were all putting their hands up. Cece didn't make any movements at first. But when she saw everyone raising their hands, she was startled and hurriedly put her hand as well. Teacher Kui's gaze landed on her. She smiled and said, "All right then, let's have Cece answer the first question." Cece was a little nervous. Zhong Yi nudged his daughter encouragingly. Only then did Cece timidly stand forward. All of the parents were looking at her. Teacher Kui put up all 5 fingers of her hand and said, "Cece's pocket has 5 pieces of candy. If teacher takes away 2 pieces of candy, how many pieces of candy are left?" Cece counted with her fingers and thought for a long time. There are still 3 candies left. Teacher Kui asked again, "Then if teacher were to take away another piece of candy?" Cece spent a long time thinking before saying, 2 pieces of candies. There are 2 pieces of candies left. Teacher Kui smiled. That's very good. Then what if teacher were to take away another 2 pieces of candy? Cece was getting anxious by now. She counted with her fingers and couldn't find out the answer at all. Teacher Kui said, "Count it carefully. How many pieces of candy are left?" Cece turned around and tugged on Zhong Yi's sleeve. "Daddy! Daddy!" Teacher Kui said, "You cannot ask your daddy for the answer. Think for yourself." Cece couldn't calculate it no matter what and her eyes reddened. Many of the parents laughed under their breath. Now Zhong Yi demonstrated how protective he was of his daughter. He bent down and picked Cece up, then said to Teacher Kui with a smile, "Teacher Kui, there's a problem with your question." Teacher Kui was taken aback. "Ah? What problem?" Zhong Yi said, "The child only has 5 pieces of candy, but you took all of it away and didn't even leave one for her. Aren't you being a little too unkind?" Teacher Kui was horrified. The group of parents burst into laughter. Pfft! The class ended. Teacher Kui angrily called Zhong Yi and Cece to her office. Teacher Kui criticized, "Professor Zhong, how could you do that? You cannot be so protective of children. You were also a professor at Peking University's Chinese and Math departments, as well as an honorary associate professor at Media College. The language textbooks also have your essays in them. In the field of academia, you're my senior. You're also involved in education work, so how could you have low awareness of things?" Zhong Yi hurriedly accepted the criticism. "Teacher Kui, I'll change my ways." Teacher Kui did not know whether to laugh or cry. In the past, it was always your wife who came for the parent-teacher meetings. In terms of educating the children, you really have to learn how from Minister Wu. Zhong Yi smiled and said, yes, I will learn from her. It's only because I'm a first-time father who hasn't spent much time with his child that I am so inexperienced. If there's anything that I did wrong, please criticize me further. In the future, if my child makes any mistakes, please guide her well." Then he patted his daughter on the head and said, "Cece, Daddy is going away for work today. From now on, you must listen to Teacher Kui's words, understand?" Cece made a noise in acknowledgement. Seeing this attitude from Zhong Yi, Teacher Kui felt more at ease. Then, she looked at Zhong Yi and suddenly asked, "Are you really going to shoot an anti-corruption drama?" Zhong Yi smiled. "Yes, we begin shooting today." Teacher Kui said worriedly, "This is your first time directing a TV drama, right?" Zhong Yi said, "Yeah, it's my first time." In the office space, several other teachers stood up. A male teacher smiled and said, "Teacher Zhong, you can do it." A middle-aged female teacher said, "We're all waiting to watch it." Zhong Yi cheerfully waved his hand about. "All right, please give me your support when the time comes, everyone." Definitely. That's a must. The teachers all nodded in response. But of course, this was only them being courteous. In fact, none of them were actually optimistic about it. Chapter 1544, the cameras start rolling for In the Name of the People. The plane slowly descended. Zhong Yi led the production crew as they disembarked from the plane. They were chatting and laughing as they came through the security checks. But before they could even take a few steps out, they heard a scream come from the other side. Ah! He's here! He's coming out! How handsome! Quite a few young girls were behaving like they were crazy. Zhong Yi was startled. Are they here to welcome us? Ninglan smiled. Surely not, right? In the end, they saw that those fans were indeed not here for them. Chu Dong! Chu Dong! Chu Dong! A lot of people were looking in one direction and chanting a name. Zhong Yi sighed. I had thought they were here for us. Jiang Hanwei sneered. Do you think this is a few years ago? Dong Shanshan exposed him. You're speaking like he ever had anyone welcome him at the airport. Can you not speak the truth? Zhong Yi was very embarrassed. My fans are all very sane people. They don't believe in things like receiving me at the airport or whatnot. They'll silently support me. Several of the crew members laughed. All of them knew that Zhong Yi's fans were indeed quite different from the fans of other celebrities. For the fans of other celebrities, there was always a feverish sense of support for them. It was like this for Ninglan, Jiang Hanwei, and Shu Han as well. Everyone received similar treatment from their fans except Zhong Yi. This was because one would never be able to guess that the people who scolded him in the fiercest possible ways were actually also his most diehard of fans. In the entertainment industry at that time, it was a scene to behold. Zhong Yi asked, "Who's that fellow?" Ha Chichi turned her gaze over to where a young man in his 20s had just stepped out. That is Chu Dong, an extremely popular male idol these days who first debuted as a singer. I've not been paying attention to his celebrity ranking recently, but he should be at the forefront of the domestic A-list rankings and making a push for a Heavenly King spot. Oh yes, didn't they already start showing the 5th season of I Am a Singer? Chu Dong is this season's favorite, and he's really popular on the show. Zhong Yi said emotionally, they're already into the 5th season? Shu Han smiled and said, what thoughts do you have about it, being the show's first season winner? What thoughts can I have? Come on, let's go. Zhong Yi led the team forward. Many of the people at the airport had their attention on Chu Dong, so there was basically no one who noticed Zhong Yi, Ninglan, and the rest of the group. Someone even brushed past Zhong Yi without recognizing him wearing sunglasses. There were some things that didn't need any explaining at all. Ever since Zhong Yi's return, this atmosphere and his dwindling popularity felt very obvious to him. It had been close to 4 years. To a normal person, this wouldn't feel like very long. But for a celebrity, it was a passage of time where everything could change. Outside. The bus that was picking them up had already arrived. On the bus, Zhong Yi said, we'll get the cameras rolling and start filming today. Let's strive to finish filming the entire series in 1.5 months. We're going to aim to finish earlier rather than later. Ninglan said, won't there be a lensing ceremony one? Zhong Yi smiled and said, how many people are paying attention to this production of ours? So what's the point of holding the ceremony? Jiang Hanwei said, a lensing ceremony is the convention. Which production crew doesn't do it? Zhong Yi said in amusement, I'm not one to stick to convention. Jiang Bin, who was the oldest of the lot and more superstitious about such things, said, traditionally, shouldn't we at least hold a simple one? But Zhong Yi said, nope. Jiang Bin could only helplessly say, all right then. Dong Shanshan laughed and said, you're the director, you have the final say. Praying to the heavens. Offering joss sticks. Cutting the roast suckling pig. Covering the prayer table with red cloth. This was the customary opening ceremony for the filming of Chinese movies and TV series. Every production crew did it, but Zhong Yi refused. He had always been a superstitious person, but he didn't want to believe in this. Whether or not a drama could succeed depended on the director, actors, and the entire production team working together. Would praying to the heavens and offering joss sticks ensure its success? Wasn't that bullshit? If holding a lensing ceremony worked, then what was the point of having a director direct the actors? Zhong Yi had always been considered a maverick in the entertainment circle. He had his own style of doing things, and it wouldn't matter how others tried to persuade him. Everyone understood this to be Zhong Yi's nature. Be it directing variety shows or documentaries, or even a television drama, Zhong Yi had always been a very headstrong director. He was like this in the past, and he was still like this now. Zhong Yi said, "Come on, I'll run everyone through the script again." On the bus ride, he was telling everyone about the key points of today's shoot. The script that he had written for In the Name of the People was not entirely the same one as his previous worlds, and had gone through many changes in the details as dictated by Zhong Yi. There were many reasons for that, such as the issues of the actors, and how they were their own persons. Since the actors from both worlds were different, the script had to be adjusted according to the actors' qualities and acting skills. Among the changes were also some subjective adjustments made by Zhong Yi, such as the son of the chairman of Big Wind Factories Union, Jing Chenggong, and his daughter-in-law. Zhong Yi felt that it was too long-winded and had nothing to do with the main storyline, with more than 8 episodes of scenes focusing on them. Not only that, a lot of advertisements were injected in between the scenes. All of that was absolutely unnecessary, and the people from his previous world had criticized this too. So Zhong Yi cut a lot of scenes from the original, leaving his version of In the Name of the People at only 42 episodes instead of 55. There was no guarantee that he wouldn't cut it further in post-production, as he intended to strip away many of the cumbersome and non-essential storylines. What he needed to do was create an excellent anti-corruption drama that would open the path for similar works. On location, the pre-arranged venue had been set aside for them. Without any unnecessary chatter, they started setting up the cameras, decorating the set, and putting makeup on the actors. At 5:10 p.m., the filming of In the Name of the People officially started in Nanjing. 3, 2, 1. Action. Zhong Yi fell into his working mood, which was clearly quite different from his day-to-day. What was most obvious was his intense gaze and the serious expression on his face. Cut. That's not good enough, again. Cut, again. Cut. That's still not good enough. That's not right, you can't eat a bowl of noodles like this. Do you eat jjiangmian too that way? Your mannerisms are too elegant. Again. Just a single scene took them 8 or 9 takes. The actors of the production crew were not small-timers either. This lineup of best actors and best actresses couldn't get more luxurious. Although they no longer enjoyed the popularity of yesteryear, their status in the industry was still there. The 2 assistant directors, Ha Chichi and Zhong Zhui, were trembling with fright. They were so afraid that the best actors and actresses would quit filming as a result, and also felt that director Zhong was being too harsh for one scene. But the 2 of them could not have expected the actors to not grumble one bit. Especially the veteran actor who was filming the noodle-eating scene. He was a very senior figure in the industry. He had already eaten 3 bowls of noodles, but the glimmer in his eyes was shining brighter and brighter. Ning Lan smiled. Jiang Bin and Jiang Hanwei looked at each other. Shu Han also gave a slight grin. At this moment, everyone was reminded of how much hard work they had to put into filming not just several years ago, but even decades back. This was how it should be. Acting was always supposed to be like this. This was what you truly called acting. Chapter 1545, wrapping up. At the filming location. Zhong Yi was at the scene overseeing all operations. Action. Cut. All right, that'll do. Shan, well done. Your expression is spot on. Beautiful, old Yao. Let's go, we're moving to the next location. All of the actors were getting in the groove. Being veteran actors from yesteryear, they knew exactly what was required of them. There was no real need for Zhong Yi to make any unnecessary remarks. A hint was all they needed to make the scene work out. Furthermore, the production crew was in a very good form and it only took a short time for them to work seamlessly as a team. Even during their breaks and moving between filming locations, no one would be on their cell phones. Instead, they would be discussing their roles and the storyline for the next scene. Everyone was very serious, with a deep sense of dedication towards their love and determination for acting. This was something that wasn't present in any of the production crews that consisted of those hot, young men. Ninglan said, "Old Yao, can you put on a more intense expression?" Yao Jiansai said, "This is good enough. If I overdo it, that would make it worse." Shu Han said, "Teacher Yao is right. I feel that it's enough." Jiang Hanwei said, "Director Zhong, I want to modify my lines for the next scene." Zhong Yi said, "Sure, the lines are just written for you, but it will still have to depend on how you deliver it during the shoot. There's no need to adhere exactly the script. That would be meaningless." Jiang Hanwei said, "Okay." Ninglan asked, "Director Zhong, I'm wondering how you honed your acting skills?" Zhong Yi said, "Haha, guess." Yao Jiansai said, "That's right, Zhonga has really changed my view of him. He's really got such great presence in front of the camera. When we were acting opposite each other in a scene, I was nearly upstaged by him." Shu Han said, "Haha, that's why we mustn't take our director for a newcomer. Although Director Zhong has never acted in a TV drama before this, don't forget about how capable he is. If he really gets serious at acting, he won't be lacking to any of us best actors and actresses. Otherwise, would Zhong Yi still be called Zhong Yi?" Ninglan said, "What a good bootlicking that was." Shu Han laughed. "Pfut." Jiang Bin said, "With today's shoot, it really felt like the old days again." Yao Jiansai replied, "Yeah, wasn't this exactly how we used to act years ago when we first debuted? It's totally unlike how the other production crews do it these days. They think that everything will be fine as long as they can get a young gun on board their productions. Can't remember their lines? Requiring a stunt double whether they're playing a role in an emotional drama or action movie. And they aren't bothered by their acting standards either? What the hell?" Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Actually, there isn't really any designated lead or supporting roles in this drama in my opinion. As long as we play our roles well, everyone can be the main lead. Every role has its own shine and can be performed well with our different styles. This is also the effect that I would like to achieve. So, please, let me request this of everyone. Whatever acting chops you have or however good you are at acting, please pour all of that effort into this drama. Once we leave this behind, there won't be another chance like it again." Ninglan said, "I'm just afraid my screen presence will oust you, making me stand out in our scenes." Zhong Yi said, "All right, as the male lead, my role is actually just to serve all of you." "Haha, but it won't be that easy to upstage me." Ninglan said, "Sure, let's give it a try." Zhong Yi said, "If everything proceeds smoothly, we'll add another 2 scenes after this." Yao Jiansai said, "I have no problems with that." Dong Shanshan agreed, "Sure thing." For some directors of a movie or drama, their production tenet would be based on the principle of slow work means careful work. Li Ku was an example of one who did it that way. He would repeatedly polish his projects until they were to his satisfaction. Others placed more emphasis on the actors. As long as the actors were popular enough, and as long as the actors could bring up their productions, all other requirements could be lowered. Every director had a different style of directing, and Zhong Yi was the type who focused on efficiency. He asked for both quality and speed in a production, not because he didn't want to seek the finer details through slowing down, but because in his opinion, it would be an insult if he had to keep hammering out every detail with a group of veteran actors. 1 day. 2 days. 3 days. Time passed very quickly. On the 10th day since In the Name of the People had commenced filming, many netizens were on Weibo discussing the upcoming television series that they were anticipating. It was currently a lull for television series. At the end of last year, Heavenly King Guanzhouhua's Xianxia series had set a record-high viewership rating in recent years. With no highly anticipated series since then, the people were all causing a ruckus at the shortage of series, and at the same time, anticipating the next blockbuster. Heavens of the Gods, a Xianxia series starring Li Xiao, a hot, young man. As well as a costume period drama titled Age of Kingdoms, starring Kai Hao, another hot, young man. Both series had put in a huge publicity effort in recent times, making the people look forward to them in great anticipation. Li Xiao's new show is coming soon. I'm so looking forward to it. I like Kai Hao. Shishi is the most handsome of all. It looks like the viewership ratings for this year's television series will have to depend on the two of them. Yeah, last year was Guan Zhaohua's year, so it should be our Li Xiao's year this year. I believe his ascendancy to the throne of a heavenly king is just around the corner. Get lost. The new heavenly king will definitely be our Kai Hao. Heavens of the Gods should be wrapping up filming soon, right? Yeah, it's almost done. Oh yes, how is Zhong Yi's production doing? I don't know. Yeah, I've heard no updates about it. Has that anti-corruption drama already started production? I didn't see any publicity for it. I suppose they just started the production then? I'm not gonna pin any hopes on a political drama. There will be all sorts of restrictions and praise lavished on the government, so it's not likely that it will be interesting. The production is going so slowly as well. If it were Zhong Yi of yesteryear, he would not have needed to take on that sort of TV series. But look at him now. His appeal is really lacking compared to the male idols these days. And with that temper of his, how many people has he offended before? So who would possibly invest in a production of his? Therefore, the only projects he can take will be these small productions. Hi, for a heavenly king of his generation, it's such a pity. Yeah, looking at the comments and topicality of the matter, it's clear to us how things are. No one is paying any attention at all to that in the name of the people production of theirs. Elsewhere. At the Central Publicity Department. At this moment, some people were reminded of this production as well. Although this production was headed by their Central Publicity Department, Zhong Yi's status in the project was still too unique. He was Deputy Minister Wu's husband, so who would dare question him? Today, when Bureau Chief Liu, who was assigned to oversee this project, found out about the news online, he called for an update from Supervisor Ku. Bureau Chief Liu asked, "How is the production that we've invested in progressing so far?" Supervisor Ku said, "I didn't ask for details." However, Bureau Chief Liu didn't get angry at him. If it were some other director who was directing the show, even if it were the famous director Li Ku, the Central Publicity Department would definitely be hounding him for an update every day. To check if the production has started? To see how the filming was progressing? They would definitely ask for a report every day. After all, it was their Central Publicity Department who was forking out the money, so of course, they would have to supervise the project. But it was different for Zhong Yi. He was Minister Wu's husband after all. Who would dare to call him every day for an update? If they did that, how would Minister Wu view them? Bureau Chief Liu said, "It's been so many days. It's probably time to ask for an update." Supervisor Ku replies, "All right then, I'll check with them." Bureau Chief Liu said, "They should have started on the production, right?" Supervisor Ku nodded, "I believe they have already started." Bureau Chief Liu said, "Check out what the situation is. This sum of money is not small for our department. If the higher-ups ask about it later, we should at least be able to give them an account of things. We cannot act like we don't know anything." Thus, Supervisor Ku made a call to the site. He did not call Zhong Yi directly but got in contact with the production crew's assistant director, Ha Chichi. It was usually her who handled the external communications of their studio. Supervisor Ku also knew that Ha Chichi was the external communications manager for Zhong Yi's studio, as well as a temporary agent for him. The call connected. Supervisor Ku said, "Director Ha." On the other end, Ha Chichi said, "Supervisor Ku, hello. Well, about that, how is the production crew's preparations going?" "We're already all prepared." "Have you all commenced with the filming?" "Commenced with the filming? It's been 10 days? And the filming still hasn't started yet?" However, the response from the other end of the line left Supervisor Ku in shock. "What commencement of filming are you talking about? We've already wrapped up the shoot." Supervisor Ku was stunned. "What?" Ha Chichi said, "We just wrapped up filming an hour ago. All of the scenes have been shot, so filming has ended. We should be returning to Beijing tomorrow. After that, we will start on the post-production work, and director Jong has said that he will personally oversee it. He will edit the show scene by scene, so once everything is completed, the source footage will be submitted to the SARFT for approval. And after it passes the approval of the SARFT, we will get in contact with the TV stations. Supervisor Koo, please don't worry about the progress of the drama. When has director Jong ever caused any delays for the matters that he is personally overseeing? After hanging up, Supervisor Koo was dumbfounded. Bureau Chief Liu looked at him. What's the matter? Supervisor Koo wiped away his sweat. They said that they've, Bureau Chief Liu frowned. They've not commenced filming yet? Supervisor Koo didn't whether to laugh or cry. They said that they've already wrapped up the filming. Bureau Chief Liu's jaw dropped. What? Wrapped up? How many days has it been? Supervisor Koo was also nearly going crazy. Writing novels. Recording radio broadcasts. Recording variety shows. Writing songs. Everyone knew what Zhong Yi's other nickname was, the fastest drawer. Years ago, the incident in which Zhong Yi recorded several episodes of a variety show in a single day had shocked the entertainment circle. But it was different this time. This was a television series they were talking about. A television series that spanned over 40 episodes in total? But you wrapped up filming for it in just 10 days? You filmed 4 episodes per day? Wasn't this too hecking fast? How is this just the fastest draw? You should be hecking known as the fastest machine gun. Chapter 1546, In the Name of the People gets allocated a broadcast slot. The next day. In the morning. Beijing Airport. Supervisor Koo came here personally to receive them. The moment they boarded the bus, he started asking anxiously, Director Zhong, what's going on? Did you encounter some problems while filming? Zhong Yi was taken aback. No, there weren't any problems. Supervisor Koo said, did the script change? Zhong Yi blinked. No, it hasn't been changed. Supervisor Koo wiped at his sweat. It's still the original 42-episode script then? Zhong Yi smiled and said, yeah, not a single episode less. Supervisor Koo said, but it has only been 10 days. 10 days is enough. Zhong Yi smiled. Supervisor Koo said, I've never heard of anyone in the industry who can wrap up a TV series shoot in 10 days. Zhong Yi chuckled. Now you've heard of it. Supervisor Koo facepalmed. He did not know what else he could say. The area that Supervisor Koo was in charge of at the Central Publicity Department was the promotion of government ideological films, propaganda. Although he wasn't professionally involved in the production of television series, he wasn't a fool either. He had ears that he could listen with, so of course he knew how other drama production crews worked and what was involved in the workflow of a drama production. In his opinion, filming a television series consisting of around 40 episodes would have to take at least 2 to 3 months to complete, and this was under the pretext of having no production issues either. Some other production crews could even take up to half a year, while the even longer ones took up to 2 to 3 years to complete. For many directors, especially the older generation ones, most of them aimed for perfection and would not allow one flaw to appear in their works. As for Zhong Yi, he only took 10 days? No one had ever come across something like that before. Nearby, Ha Chichi also asked with some doubt, Director Zhong, is there really no need to shoot any additional scenes? We allowed the main cast members to leave yesterday, but what if there are any scenes that were missed? Then that would, Zhongzhua was smiling wryly. Zhong Yi waved it off. That won't happen. Is there a need to worry with me handling the matter? Supervisor Koo looked at him and felt it would be a wonder if they could feel assured. Could a television series with more than 40 episodes filmed in 10 days even be watchable? You sure you aren't messing around with us? Supervisor Koo had a niggling feeling that the 30 million renminbi the Central Publicity Department had invested had likely gone smoke. This entire matter just didn't feel like it was reliable. A while later. At the Central Publicity Department's editing studio. Zhong Yi did not even head home after coming back to Beijing. He immediately came here to start editing the footage. Looking at the scenes that they had recorded, Zhong Yi felt very satisfied. Let's get started then. An hour. 3 hours. Zhong Yi started burying himself in his work. Meanwhile, a debate was going on within the Central Publicity Department. Everyone had found out that Zhong Yi was back in Beijing after wrapping up the filming. Have you heard? I've heard. Did they really wrap up filming already? My God. Isn't that too fast? Why is Teacher Zhong's productivity still as efficient as ever? But this is a TV series we're talking about. That same night, Wu Ziqing had just finished making dinner. Zhong Yi's parents were also here. As soon as Zhong Yi arrived home, his daughter pounced up to him in excitement. Daddy! Daddy! Carry me! Ari, my dear, did you miss Daddy? Yes. Then give Daddy a kiss. Okay. Father and daughter were very close. His mother complained, "Why are you back so early?" Zhong Yi smiled and said, "I've already finished filming, so why would you want me to stay there for a few more days?" His mother curled her lips. Don't take others for a fool regarding this matter. Who did I take for a fool? Zhong Yi said in a speechless manner. I've dedicated my very best to the project. His mother said, it takes others more than 10 days to shoot one episode of a drama. But for you? You only took 10 days to shoot over 40 episodes. What is that if it isn't taking others for a fool? What if none of the TV stations agree to take your drama after that? You can go wallow in your tears. Wu Ziqing smiled. Have you contacted the TV stations yet? Zhong Yi said, not yet. Wu Ziqing asked, should I get the Central Publicity Department to head a meeting with them? Zhong Yi said, there's no need for that. Surely I still have enough influence left for that, right? His mother sneered. Don't overestimate yourself. Zhong Yi smiled and said, I've already made an appointment with an old friend, and he'll be here soon to discuss this matter. While they were talking, the doorbell rang. Zhong Yi opened the door and was met with a familiar face. Hu Fei looked at Zhong Yi. Zhong Yi looked at Hu Fei. Then the two of them broke into smiles and gave each other a bear hug. Hu Fei was a little excited to see him. Well, you haven't changed one bit, I see. You really haven't changed at all. Zhong Yi laughed heartily. You too, brother Hu, you too. You still look as spirited as ever. So how have you been? I just came back, but I've already heard about your promotion. You're the deputy station head of Beijing TV, huh? Hu Fei smiled and said, I worked hard to get there. Zhong Yi brought his daughter over and said, greet Uncle Hu. Cece hid behind her father and peeked at Hu Fei. Then she said timidly, Uncle Hu. Hu Fei gave her a broad smile and said, so this is our little princess. How pretty. From the dinner table, Wu Ziqing laughed. You're here? Hu Fei's expression quickly shifted, and he said courteously, Minister Wu, I'm here for a free meal. Wu Ziqing said, quick, have a seat. Hu Fei also knew Zhong Yi's parents from before. He went over to greet them. They sat down and began eating. While eating, Hu Fei asked, I thought you went away to shoot the drama. Has the filming started yet? Why are you so free to treat me to a meal today? I was thinking of meeting up with you after you finished with the shoot. Zhong Yi laughed and said, filming has already wrapped up. Hu Fei nearly spat out a mouthful of food. What? Zhong Yi said, we wrapped up filming yesterday. Hu Fei smacked his forehead. When it comes to work efficiency, I will only take my hat off to you in the entire entertainment industry. Zhong Yi said amused, well, I always work very quickly when it comes to filming. You should know that. Hu Fei said helplessly, but I didn't know that you could shoot a TV series that quickly, though. They're all the same. Then Zhong Yi said, so how about it, brother Hu? I'm still editing the footage and can probably send it in for approval in a few more days. Do you want to purchase the broadcast rights of the drama? Hu Fei smiled and said, how much? Zhong Yi said, it will surely be a fair price for you since both of us go way back. If it were anyone else, I wouldn't sell it to them no matter how much they offered. Hu Fei chuckled and said, "Get off it, since when did you speak so honestly? Do you think that anyone would dare to buy a show that's produced by you? It's only our station that would do it." With a pause, he said, "All right, I'll make the decision on the matter. Once the approval goes through, we will still need to have a quick look at the footage before signing the contract. I wouldn't honor this if it were anyone else, but since it's you, Little Zhong, I have no choice even if I didn't want to give you face." Zhong Yi said, "Sweet, it's settled then. Don't forget to leave us the best time slot that you have for the scheduling of the show." Hu Fei said, "Don't worry about that. How could I possibly shortchange you?" Zhong Yi said, "So which time slot will we be taking over?" Hu Fei gave it some thought before saying, "There's going to be a primetime show ending next month, but that slot isn't too good. Heavens of the Gods and Age of Kingdoms are both very highly anticipated blockbuster series for the year. Although you have only just returned, I think you should have heard of them too, right? These two series will be broadcasting at around the same time on two other TV stations. They've already gone through the final round of talks, so my guess is that they will begin their broadcast run in the following month. Two very popular young guns are going to be fighting for a spot in the S-list rankings, and the battle will be happening in full force, so it's better that you don't join in the fun there. Which series is not stepping back and avoiding them? How about this, I'll arrange a broadcast slot for you 2 months from now. There shouldn't be anyone competing with you then, and it will be much easier to get good results." Hu Fei's idea was created with good intentions. In this era of hot, young male stars, with Zhong Yi having just returned and his popularity slowly recovering, there wasn't any need for him to fight it out with them. But Zhong Yi did not appreciate his kindness at all. Zhong Yi smiled and said, 2 months is too long." Hu Fei was taken aback. "Ah?" Zhong Yi said, "Let's just go ahead with the broadcast next month." Hu Fei didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Are you sure?" "I'm sure." Zhong Yi grinned. "Brother Hu, it has always been others avoiding my shows and time slots. Back when we were doing variety shows at Beijing TV, even Central TV Department 1 had to steer clear of us and change their show's broadcast time. When have you heard about me avoiding others?" His mother rolled her eyes and said, "Do you think you're still living in that time?" Zhong Yi boasted, "It has always been that way, and it will continue being so." His father said, "Little Hu, don't listen to him. This kid is getting big-headed again." Zhong Yi laughed and said, "Dad, I know what I'm doing." Hu Fei massaged his temples and said, "Kid, that temper of yours still hasn't changed." He couldn't help looking at Wu Ziqing to see what she had to say. This matter wasn't something that Zhong Yi could decide on alone. Being a project led by the Central Publicity Department, the final say still rested with them. At this moment, old Wu spoke up. Wu Ziqing smiled as she ate. "Just schedule it according to what my husband says." No matter what decisions Zhong Yi made, Wu Ziqing has always been very supportive of him. There was really no one else like Zhong Yi's wife. Zhong Yi smiled and said, "This is a good opportunity to pit the appeal of the young hunks against the strength of the veterans. Bring it on. Actions speak louder than words. It's time to see who is worthy. This is no big deal. Competing on appeal with the young male idols? Competing on viewership with the young male idols?" If any other person heard this, they would probably think that Zhong Yi had gone mad. In this age, who could still fight against the hunks? Hu Fei had no choice, so he smiled and said, "As long as you're not afraid that it will affect the viewership ratings, I won't have any problems with it on my side. Scheduling a show is just a matter of scheduling for us after all. Isn't that so?" Zhong Yi was amused. Affect the viewership ratings? How was that possible? This was in the name of the people they were talking about. If a single series comes at me, I crush them. If a group of series come at me, I'll crush them all. Chapter 1547, An Invitation from I Am a Singer. Several days later, the SARFT received the source footage of In the Name of the People. What? They've finished filming? And it's even been edited already? Isn't this a little too fast? Is this for real? It's really that anti-corruption drama that was sent over from the Central Publicity Department. I'm gonna faint. How many days has it been? Let's have a look at it first. The scope of involvement is really big. Yeah, it involves so many issues of the political arena. Can a show like that even get approved? The tune was set by the higher-ups, so how can we not pass it? That's true. In that case, there's no need to watch it anymore. Let's just get it approved and certified. Zhong Yi is too daring to film a drama like this. Shouldn't you know who Zhong Yi is by now? This fellow has always been stupidly brave, so what doesn't he dare to do? Not even a day passed. After only a few hours, Zhong Yi received news that In the Name of the People had been passed for broadcast. The permit for the distribution of television plays and the drama approval ID were also issued, with all the paperwork in order. This was what you called a man leaning against a big tree can enjoy the shade it provides. If anyone else had produced this sort of an anti-corruption drama, just the approval process alone would have taken several months to a year, with the outcome not even guaranteed. But since the Central Publicity Department had set the tune by investing in the drama, the SARFT didn't even need to finish watching it to issue the permits. This was what you called efficiency. The production was brought to a successful completion. They could throw the celebratory feast now. So Zhong Yi smilingly made a call to book a location to hold it. Noon. Somewhere in the suburbs. It was now spring, so the temperatures had risen a bit. The outdoor barbecue pit was set up through the efforts of Zhong Yi and several others. Then they took out their cell phones to check the news. I'm a Singer Season 5 comes to a close. The grand champion, Chu Dong, will be holding a concert tour next. The countdown begins for the television series Heavens of the Gods. Li Xiao and Kai Hao battle for a heavenly king's throne. Shu Mailan to fall off soon from the S-list rankings? Sister Lan, the only remaining heavenly queen from the old generation. The others also arrived. Other than Dong Shanshan and several actors who had events to attend today, the rest were all here. Ninglan greeted from afar, "What are you guys reading? Why isn't anyone welcoming us?" Zhong Yi laughed and said, "We're reading the news." Yao Jiancai asked, "Is it about us?" Zhong Yi shrugged. "There's not a mention of us. It's all news related to the young guns. Is this how the news is these days? I saw them writing about our group of people, and we were described as belonging to the old generation. It's fine once you get used to it." Zhong Xia wasn't bothered by it one bit. Jiang Hanwei said indifferently, "That's how the media is these days, or should I say, that's how the people like it these days. Since it's something that everyone is fond of, they would naturally report it in that way." Ninglan asked, "Has it been approved?" Zhong Yi said, "Yes, it was passed." Ninglan said, "Have you contacted the TV stations yet?" Zhong Yi smiled. "Yes, Beijing TV." Shu Han said, "Beijing TV is strong at variety shows, but they're not that good when it comes to their TV series." Zhong Yi said, "Beijing TV is the only station that I have a good relationship with." For the other, larger TV stations, they immediately steered clear of me the moment they knew that it was an anti-corruption drama with a political message. In any case, it's quite good that we could get the show to broadcast on a satellite channel in a primetime slot. Oh yes, I haven't informed you guys about this yet, but our series could be starting its broadcast during the same period as Heavens of the Gods and Age of Kingdoms. Therefore, I hope that you will be mentally prepared for it, haha. Shu Han was taken aback. The same period as them? Zhong Xia looked at him. You're that confident? Zhong Yi laughed and said, I guess. Ninglan said, Kid, are you trying to slap others again? Zhong Yi said happily, Guess. Shu Han said, if our viewership ratings can perform on par with those two hunks dramas, it wouldn't just be a slap to their face, nor would it only be a slap to the industry. This is going to be us old-timers returning to the industry to slap the entire world. On par? Why does it have to be on par? Zhong Yi smiled but did not speak. There was no need to explain further since no one would believe his claims at this moment in time. Zhong Yi would either not do it at all, or he would do it to an earth-shattering effect. He had spent so much effort to gather these old friends together not because he wanted to be on par with those hot, young men, but because he wanted to tell the entire world that even after 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, they would still not be a match for him. Come, come, let's start eating. Shall we give a toast? Sure. Cheers. They barbecued the meat. They drank beers. Everyone was heartily enjoying the food. Zhong Yi said, "There's about half a month more until our drama is broadcast, so I'd like everyone to put in some effort during this time to give our show more publicity on Weibo. You can also accept interviews if approached." Ninglan said, "Understood." Yao Jiancai said, "I've already accepted some interview requests." Jiang Hanwei said, "We know better than you regarding what needs to be done." Shu Han said, "But the media and people aren't giving us any attention at all. Those two hunks' new dramas and the latest season of I Am a Singer have stolen all the limelight. Nobody's focus is on us." Taking out her cell phone and waving it around, she said, "I just had a quick look, and there's really no news of our drama. No one outside our group even knows that we've already wrapped up filming, or perhaps no one cares. This makes it hard to deal with." Zhong Xia said, "If we want the viewership ratings to increase, then the topicality and publicity will have to increase as well." Zhong Yi said helplessly, "The Central Publicity Department does not have any additional funds to put into purchasing ad spots. They can't exactly request that the media outlets report about their self-funded drama either. That isn't how authority is used. So we can forget about depending on them for publicity. It's all on us now, so let's just do however much we can. Everyone, let's give this matter a little more of our attention." Ninglan shook her head. "We're no longer popular like before. Even if we were to make an announcement right now, it's nothing compared to a single word by the hot, young guys." Zhong Yi was also considering his options. The following publicity work was indeed not going to be easy. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. 20 minutes. All of a sudden, a young actor said, "Hey, people, look at this." Everyone looked at him. "What is it?" The young actor said, "There's some activity from I Am a Singer's program team." Everyone gathered around to check out what the news was about. When Zhong Yi read it, he was stunned. "I Am a Singer is already in its final season?" Zhong Xia nodded. Beijing TV announced half a year ago that this will be the final season of the show. After this, the variety show will cease to exist. Zhong Yi knew that in the Chinese entertainment circle, all the singers that could be invited in these recent years had already all been invited. If I Am a Singer were to continue, it would keep repeating the same old formula, and there wouldn't be any meaning to it. Instead, why not finish at the peak with all the honors? Actually, Zhong Yi had put forward 2 conditions when he handed over the authorizations of the shows to Beijing television station before he left to serve his sentence. First, Dong Shanshan had priority when considering the host candidate for the shows. Second, the shows have to be done well no matter what. From the looks of it, Beijing television had indeed carried out their promise with Zhong Yi. In their judgment, they believed that I Am a Singer would likely head downhill by the next season, so they decided to bring forward the decision of ending this phenomenal variety show that no one could bear to abandon. To be able to make a decision like that required a very strong will. Zhong Yi felt quite pleased about it. It was a different era. This was now a time where the hot, young male stars dominated the industry. Acting skills? Singing skills? These things were getting less and less important nowadays. It was a good thing that it was coming to an end. There was indeed not much meaning in having a stage for singers to compete based on popularity. But at this moment, what surprised Zhong Yi and everyone else was that the program team of I Am a Singer had actually announced a new plan. This was also to be the final curtain call of I Am a Singer. They had thought of organizing a battle between the former grand champions of I Am a Singer as its closing show. What was the meaning of this? This meant that the grand champions from Season 1 to Season 5 would all stand on this stage to fight it out among themselves to decide the greatest champion of all 5 seasons of I Am a Singer. In the past, it was singers versus singers. And now, they were planning to have grand champions versus grand champions. Zhong Xia was amused. They've really upped the ante. Ninglan said, "They'll really dare to try something like that?" Yao Jiancai said, "Would anyone go?" Shu Han said, "Yeah, being a grand champion is the highest honor that can be achieved." But now, they're asking for all the past grand champions to return for another battle to decide the greatest champion. Beijing Television was very clear about it. This was purely going to be voluntary and no one would be forced to take part. They would hold this battle of the grand champions in a fair and just manner. It would be best if the previous season's winners were willing to take part. But if that didn't work out, the first runner-up of that season could choose to participate instead, and so on and so forth. On Weibo, the netizens blew up. Wow! This is good. This is really good. This is so exciting. A battle of the grand champions? This is going to be a contest between two different generations of singers. Chu Dong has just emerged as the grand champion of Season 5. His popularity is at its peak, so he'll surely have a very large advantage. That might not be true. The past few seasons' winners are not pushovers either. I'm so looking forward to it. What a good plan by the program team. Right, this is surely the most suitable ending for I Am a Singer. I wonder if those previous grand champions will participate or not. Everyone probably cherishes their past honors very much, so it's unlikely that they would agree to participate so easily, right? Yeah. Besides, some of the grand champions have aged and can't sing good enough. Can the past grand champions really stand together on the same stage? At this moment, the Weibo of Chu Dong Studio gave their response. Chu Dong Studio announces that they will be taking part in the upcoming Battle of the Grand Champions. 10 minutes later, Season 4's Grand Champion of I Am a Singer also made an official announcement. They would accept Beijing TV's invitation to join the show. The other Grand Champions responded in succession. Heated discussions broke out on the internet. They've really decided to join? Oh my god! How exciting! It's gonna be really exciting. Chu Dong will definitely emerge as the greatest champion. Get lost, Qi Liang's season of I Am a Singer is the best one ever. Right, Season 4's Grand Champion, Qi Liang, is definitely the singer who will give everyone a run for their money. In the suburbs, Zhong Yi's cell phone rang. It was a call from an old friend. Xiao Lu said, "Hee, Teacher Zhong." Zhong Yi laughed and said, "Xiao Lu, what's this that you're planning?" Xiao Lu said, "You saw the news already?" Zhong Yi said, "It's all over the internet." Xiao Lu said gleefully, "We spontaneously decided to hold the competition. In fact, we talked about this with many of the other grand champions and discussed it as well. At that time, you hadn't been released yet, so I couldn't get to you in time. But it's not too late, so how about it? Will you be interested to take part?" Zhong Yi said, "You're really daring, huh?" Xiao Lu said, "I learned that from you, didn't I?" Zhong Yi said, "That's a fight between the young guns. Why would I want to join in the tussle?" Xiao Lu said, "Don't joke around. You're the creator of I Am a Singer, and also the first season's grand champion, so how can we leave you out?" Zhong Yi shook his head. "I haven't sung in so many years." Xiao Lu said, "Are you scared?" Zhong Yi let out a chuckle. "Why would I be scared?" Xiao Lu said, "Teacher Zhong, don't tell me that you're admitting you've become old. Don't try that with me." Zhong Yi said, "This bro is not gonna fall for it." The call ended. Zhong Xie chuckled and said, "Is Beijing TV inviting you to join?" Zhong Yi nodded. "Yes." Jiang Hanwei laughed and said, "That's the best promotional platform that we can get. With the status and viewership ratings of I Am a Singer in the variety scene, there isn't another variety show that's a match for it. If they're going to hold a battle of the grand champions, the viewership ratings will certainly go up a notch. This is a hard-to-come-by opportunity." Zhong Yi rolled his eyes. Ning Lan looked at him. "Don't tell me you're scared?" Zhong Yi curled his lips. Ning Lan said, "If you aren't going, then Grandma Zhong will have to go in your stead." Zhong Xie waved it off. "Age has really caught up with me, I won't be able to outsing the other contestants." Shu Han said, "If you two aren't going, then wouldn't there be no representative for the first season of I Am a Singer? Without any representative, wouldn't that look really bad on the participants of the first season?" Zhong Yi said, "Isn't old Chen still singing?" Ning Lan said, "Chen Guang can't win against them." Zhong Xia laughed. Honestly speaking, I can't beat them either. Yao Jiancai said, so does it mean that there will only be a chance of winning if Zhong participates? For a moment, everyone on the production crew looked at Zhong Yi. Zhong Yi said helplessly, what are you all looking at me for? Ning Lan said, we're all depending on you for the publicity work. Shu Han grinned and said, if director Zhong wins this Battle of the Grand Champions, that would be the best publicity we can get for the drama. For the sake of our production crew, and as a director, it looks like you have no choice but to stand up for us. Zhong Yi said with a laugh, are you guys throwing me under the bus? Jiang Hanwei said, you're the director, after all. Zhong Yi laughed and said, all right, let me think about it. But Zhong Xia said, little Zhong, I actually recommend you don't take part. Zhong Yi nodded. I know. Zhong Xia sighed and said, it's too risky. Chapter 1548, The List for the Finale Battle of the Grand Champions. 2 days went by. The other Grand Champions officially announced their intention of joining. The 5th season's Grand Champion of I Am a Singer, Chu Dong. The 4th season's Grand Champion of I Am a Singer, Qi Liang. The 3rd season's Grand Champion of I Am a Singer, Hai Fei. Although the 2nd season's Grand Champion had declined the invitation due to poor health, he recommended the female first runner-up from his batch of singers, Guan Shui, to participate in his stead. Guan Shui had received a similar amount of votes as the Grand Champion during that season's Grand Finals, so she could also be considered a very acknowledged and popular singer to the audience. The Grand Champions from the 5 seasons had nearly assembled. Only the singers from the 1st season did not respond to the call for them. Being the earliest season of I Am a Singer, and also the opening class of this phenomenal variety show, none of the people from this generation of participating singers made a sound. Among them, those who had aged, and those who have retired had retired. For some of them, they suffered from vocal injuries, while others were embroiled in contract issues with their talent agencies. Everyone was caught up in all kinds of different problems. On Weibo, Chu Dong is prepared. Supporting Hai Fei. Qi Liang is definitely gonna win. In terms of popularity, Chu Dong is definitely the most popular one. After all, he was the winner of the latest season of the show. In terms of singing skills, it should probably go to Qi Liang. He hails from a musical family, after all. Has anyone from Season 1 come forward yet? The 1st season's Grand Champion is Zhong Yi, right? Hasn't face-smacking Zhong come back? Can he still sing? Who knows? I guess that fellow will probably not be taking part. Isn't he busy filming a drama? And besides, it's been such a long time. Actually, even the 2nd season's runner-up, Guan Shui, does not have that much of a presence in the music scene these days. She's slowly getting marginalized from the industry. Grandma Zhong was really popular back then. Well, that was back then. Seasons 2 to 5 have already sent out their participants, so all there is left now is for someone from Season 1 to respond. But they should send someone to participate no matter what. Hurry up. At Zhongxia. At Chengwang. Everyone, guess who will be chosen to represent the class of Season 1? The people were in an uproar. In the end, even the hot, young male stars started speaking up. On Chu Dong's personal Weibo account, he mentioned many of the singers of Season 1, saying humbly, back when the 1st season of I Am a Singer was shown, I was still a part of the audience. At that time, I hadn't even debuted yet and was a fan of all our seniors on the show. Years later, I am standing on this stage myself, so I really hope that I can get the chance to have a friendly competition with my predecessors. Following that, Qi Liang also posted on Weibo, I'll do my best starting now to prepare for the Battle of the Grand Champions finale. I look forward to meeting with the seniors to exchange tips with them. On the surface, it sounded like they were asking for guidance from their predecessors. But in reality, challenge was in their tones. A competition between different generations of singers. A battle between the old and new singers. Beijing Television's gimmick was well crafted. Back when they were pitting the singers against each other, the viewership was already at a high figure. But with the impending Battle of the Grand Champions, all of the people's appetites were whetted again. Over the past few days, a lot of attention was given to this show on the news, media, and internet. Rumors said that the grand finals of this Grand Champions battle would be held live as well, which made the anticipation even greater. A lot of people clamoring and couldn't wait to watch it. Even before the competition had begun, a fiery atmosphere arose between the different fans of the male idols. In a group chat. This was a very old chat group from years ago. In it, the group members consisted of the singers who appeared in Season 1 of I Am a Singer. There hadn't been any activity in here for many years, and it was one of the so-called dead groups that people commonly called them. But today, this dead group was resurrected. Many of the chat members had emerged from their slumber. Chen Guang, 1111. The Princess of Love Songs, Shui Kaiki, 2222. The Prince of Love Songs, He Huan, huh? Zhong Xia? Amy, oh, the dead group has come to life. Xiao Dong, what's going on? Chen Guang, someone's challenging us. What do you guys feel about it? Xiao Dong, haha, I don't feel anything. Chen Guang. Amy, old Chen, go for it. Don't embarrass us. Chen Guang, my voice hasn't been that good for some years. I can't reach the high notes anymore. He Huan, Amy, why don't you go and spar with them? You're one of the younger ones around here. Amy, I don't have any good songs that I can sing. The songs that people like these days are different from what we used to like. I don't even know what it is that they like anymore. Shui Kaiki, you guys go ahead. I've retired from the scene. He Huan, I still have an issue with my contract, so I can't go even if I wanted to. Xiao Dong, Grandma Zhong, what's that fella up to these days? Zhong Xia said, him? He just finished filming his show and should be idle. Chen Guang, damn, why don't he go participate then? Amy, yeah, he has to step up no matter what. Otherwise, how embarrassing would it be for us? Even if we know that we will lose, we cannot do nothing about it. Shui Kaiki, at Zhongyi, come on, go do all of us proud. He Huan, at Zhongyi, it has been so many years. Can you still write new songs? Xiao Dong, he can always stick to singing his old ones. Chen Guang, if no one is going, I guess I have no choice. At night. Back at home. Zhongyi was carrying his daughter and eating dinner. His mother was asking from beside him, so who's going to participate in the competition? His father asked, don't tell me you'll be the one going? Zhongyi smiled. I'm still thinking about it. His mother rolled her eyes. What's there to think about? I Am a Singer is no longer the same. They've already finished broadcasting the 5th season. Even though the results are supposed to be determined based on singing skills, and should be assessed on whether a song is performed well, the actual outcome still depends on how popular one is. The real competition is on who has a bigger fanbase, while singing skills are a secondary concern. You should just take it easy. What if you end up in last place after deciding to go on stage? How embarrassing would that be? In that case, you might as well not join at all. Zhongyi said in amusement, that's what the staff at my studio says as well. Just how little confidence do you all have in me? His mother said, that's what you get for being away for so long. Zhongyi looked at his wife. Old Wu, what do you think? Wu Ziqing smiled. Decide by yourself. I'll support you no matter what. Zhongyi rubbed his daughter's head and asked, my dear, do you think that Daddy should join? Daddy should join, Daddy is the greatest, Cici said loudly. Zhongyi jutted out his chin. See, it's still my daughter who is the most confident in me. Cici shouted, Daddy will win for sure. His mother pouted. His father suggested, think about it again. The calls kept coming in one after another. His friends called to ask about the situation. And Beijing television called him to harry him for a decision. Only a few days remained until the Battle of the Grand Champions began. In fact, Zhongyi had still not formally met with everyone since the announcement of his comeback. The people had only heard about this news through the media, and he had not come face to face with everyone through his activities so far. Therefore, he wanted to say many things to them. Should he join? To take to the stage of I Am a Singer once more? So that he could let everyone know that he was back, not through the media or over Weibo, but by telling it to them face to face. Chapter 1549, the 5 contestants gather at Beijing television, in the program team office of I Am a Singer. Today was the day when the program team would finalize the list and also hold the initial meeting for the competition's contestants. From early in the morning, the staff were getting busy everywhere. Just a moment ago, Beijing television had announced the rules and competition format for the Battle of the Grand Champions. The show would continue using the stage of I Am a Singer, and it would be held live. There would be a total of 5 Grand Champions or their stand-ins representing each of the 5 seasons winners, and everyone would have to perform their songs in turn. The format was very brutal, with only 2 episodes dedicated to the entire competition, and each episode consisting of 2 elimination rounds. The contestant with the greater number of votes would not get ranked, while the one who received the lowest number of votes would have their names announced and eliminated without being allowed to advance to the next round. That was to say, within the first 2 rounds of the first episode, 2 Grand Champions would get eliminated from the competition. The second episode will also see 2 more Grand Champions being eliminated, leaving the last surviving contestant as the glorious greatest champion of I Am a Singer's finale Battle of the Grand Champions. The citizens would be allowed to vote in real time for their favorite contestants. Each contestant would be allowed to perform 1 song per round, and 1 person would be eliminated afterwards. Regardless of whether it was in terms of the show's quality, intensity, or scale, this competition was truly an unprecedented one in history. This was going to be the most brutal battle between the famous singers of the music scene. The outside world was abuzz with discussion. The program team was busy preparing for the upcoming battle. We're going to have song rehearsals today. Is the band here yet? They'll be here right away. What time are the contestants arriving at? We've asked them to come at 8 a.m. Who is going to be the representative for the first season? I don't know. I haven't received any updates on that yet. Logically speaking, it should be Grandma Zhong Xia who is coming. Yeah, even though everyone acknowledges Zhong Yi to be the deserved winner of the first season, and even Grandma Zhong Xia herself said so in the media, the official Grand Champion of the first season is still Grandma Zhong. If Grandma Zhong decides not to participate due to her age, there will surely be someone to take her place. Who do you guys think will come today? I can't guess at all. At this moment, the executive director arrived. Everyone immediately greeted her. Director Liu. Director Liu, good morning. Sister Liu, you've arrived? Xiao Lu nodded calmly. Maturity. Reliability. Authoritative. After several years, a lot of people were no longer the same. Following close behind, the Grand Champions also arrived. The first to step into the team office was the 4th season's Grand Champion, Qi Liang, and his agent. Other than that, he also brought along 2 assistants. Qi Liang hailed from a music family and was young and handsome too. Without any scandalous gossip affecting him, he was one of the more popular male idols at the moment. Qi Liang wore a very brisk smile and his voice was very crisp. Director Liu, am I the first to arrive? Xiao Lu smiled back politely. Yes, the others aren't here yet. Qi Liang smiled and said, all right then, I'll wait. Xiao Lu acknowledged, have a seat. Soon after, the first runner-up of the second season, Guan Shui, arrived with the 3rd season's Grand Champion, Haifei. They had probably run into each other downstairs before heading up together. Guan Shui waved and said, Director Liu, long time no see. Xiao Lu said, yeah, it's been 2 to 3 years since we saw each other. Haifei asked in concern, Director Liu, which senior will be coming to represent the first season's participants? Has it been decided yet? Xiao Lu shook her head. I'm also waiting to find out who it will be. Qi Liang stood up. He said, even you're not sure who it will be? Xiao Lu said, yep. Behind them, the 5th season's Grand Champion arrived with his team. Chu Dong had only arrived slightly after them. However, there were really too many people with him in his entourage. Not mentioning his agent, there were 4 other assistants who came along with him. It was obvious just how important this Battle of the Grand Champions meant to him since he had nearly moved out all of his staff for this. Although Chu Dong and Qi Liang were considered to be at the forefront of the Chinese A-list rankings, and were highly rated by the media as the most hopeful candidates to replace Heavenly Queen Xu Mailan, As the new generation of S-list superstars, I Am a Singer was still a very important show that these male idols would fight hard to win. After all, they also needed to gain the honors of winning such a prestigious competition and the popularity that would come along with it. As such, every one of them treated Xiao Lu very politely as they understood she had the final say on all aspects of the show. Chu Dong greeted Director Lu. Xiao Lu replied, "Oh, you're here?" Chu Dong's agent went up to her to shake her hand. "Director Lu, you've grown prettier since I last saw you a few days ago." Xiao Lu smiled but didn't carry on the conversation. Chu Dong's agent didn't mind and asked, "Can I check if you have a quieter waiting room somewhere around here? Our little Chu just got off the plane, so he's pretty tired, you see. Can you make arrangements?" Xiao Lu said, "Let's wait for everyone to arrive first. There's a lot that I need to brief you all on." His agent smiled and said, "Oh, never mind then." Haifei asked, "Director Lu, is there a smoking area somewhere?" Xiao Lu looked at him. Beijing Television has banned smoking in the entire compound. Haifei gave a slightly derisive smile. "All right then." Xiao Lu didn't talk much with them and did her work. The four celebrities started chatting. Chu Dong said, "Sister Guan, your new song is pretty good." Guan Shui said, "You've heard it?" Qi Liang replied, "I've listened to it as well, and I think it's nice." Guan Shui said, "It's nothing compared to you guys. My song didn't even make it into the top 10 of the charts." Haifei said, "I heard that Grandma Zhongxia won't be coming." Chu Dong replied, "Grandma Zhong might be a veteran singer, but she's at that age, you know." Qi Liang said, "I wonder who will be coming as the replacement." Guan Shui wondered, could it be Big Brother Chen Guang? Haifei said, "We'll find out soon enough." Chu Dong said, "Why isn't he here yet?" Qi Liang said, "We are scheduled to begin at 8. There are still a few more minutes to go." The four of them were confirmed as contestants. The only thing they were unsure of was who the first season's contestant would be. They were also very concerned about who their opponent was and were hoping that it would be a weaker one since all of them wanted to win. Everyone here knew how valuable the title of the greatest champion was, and it was unlikely that there would be another chance to earn an honor like it in their lifetimes. Winning this competition would likely help bring their popularity to a new high as well. Zhongxia? Chen Guang? Amy? He Huan? Or would it be Zhong Yi? At 8 a.m. sharp. Xiao Lu looked at her watch with a frown. Chu Dong and the others knew that Director Lu had been angered. "We're not waiting anymore." Xiao Lu took out some documents and handed them out to everyone. "Let me briefly explain the competition format and point out some things to take note of." The live broadcast this time is mainly, behind her, the door opened. A man wearing sunglasses slowly walked in. When he noticed that Xiao Lu did not see him, he walked up to her with a smile and stretched out a hand. Under the startled gazes of Chu Dong, Qi Liang, Guan Shui, Haifei, and everyone else, he placed a hand on Xiao Lu's head and noogied her. "I had to send my daughter to school this morning and was held back by her form teacher. Am I late?" Xiao Lu turned around in shock. Zhong Yi took off his sunglass and grinned at her. "Comrade Xiao Lu, long time no see." Xiao Lu let out a weird shriek. She laughed and pounced on him, giving him a bear hug. "Director Zhong." The other members of the program team also got excited. "Director Zhong. Ayo, Director Zhong. Director Zhong, you're finally back." A lot of people rushed up to him. The program team erupted into a frenzy. Zhong Yi looked at all of his old friends and greeted all of them by name. They were all colleagues that Zhong Yi had worked with. Some of these people had only worked under Zhong Yi once, while others worked under him from the day he joined Beijing Television until the day he left. Zhong Yi laughed and said, "Don't keep addressing me as Director Zhong. Director Lu is the one who is our boss now." Xiao Lu grinned cheekily. "Are you teasing me? Wasn't I brought up by you in the first place?" Zhong Yi said happily, "Where's Hu Ji and Hu Di? And Da Fei?" Xiao Lu said, "They've all been promoted." Zhong Yi said, "Well, all right, lunch is on them then." Xiao Lu said, "No problem, I'll go and arrange it." Zhong Yi looked at her. Did you grow taller? Xiao Lu rolled her eyes. What age am I? How could I possibly have grown any taller? But it looks to me like you're still a child. Zhong Yi laughed. Chu Dong stared at Zhong Yi. Qi Liang and Haifei looked at each other. When Guan Shui witnessed this scene, she smiled bitterly. Director Lu's attitude towards Zhong Yi was completely different from how she treated them. They couldn't help but think about how Director Lu was behaving like a child in front of him. Qi Liang said politely, "Senior." Zhong Yi looked over. "Hello. Excuse me, but I've only just returned to the entertainment circle, so I'm not very familiar with everyone. How should I address you?" Qi Liang smiled. "My name is Qi Liang." Haifei put his hand out. "My name is Haifei." Zhong Yi shook his hand. "Hello." Chu Dong also introduced himself. "I'm Chu Dong." Zhong Yi said, "Hello." Guan Shui smiled. "Teacher Zhong, it's been a long time." Zhong Yi said with a sigh, "Yeah, it has." "You're also taking part this time?" Guan Shui gave a wry smile. "I didn't expect that you'd be the one joining." Zhong Yi threw his hands up. "I didn't have a choice. Grandma Zhong refused to come, and that Chen Guang kept pushing the responsibility around. He Huan has a contract issue with his talent agency and was frozen by them. In the end, only I could come." Zhong Yi knew Guan Shui a little as he had met her during an award ceremony 4 or 5 years ago. At that time, Guan Shui was not popular. Although they weren't exactly close, and he didn't have many dealings with her, the two of them were still celebrities from the same generation. But for Qi Liang, Haifei, and Chu Dong, Zhong Yi did not know them at all. They were all newcomers who had emerged only after Zhong Yi had been sent to jail. Back when Zhong Yi first debuted in the industry, these three people were probably still in school. Right now, all 5 of the contestants had gathered. The Battle of the Grand Champions was about to begin. Chapter 1550, My Spirit is Still Full of Fight. The news spread. The list for I Am a Singer's finale Battle of the Grand Champions was finally confirmed. On Weibo. Have they announced it? It's gonna be Zhong Yi? Asterisk faints asterisk why is it him again? It's been so many years. Can he still sing? Hard to say. This fellow should have lost most of his popularity, right? Hi, being away for 4 years is basically a death sentence for a celebrity. I wonder how the progress of the TV drama that he's making is going. Can the good ole face smacking Zhong rise once more? We'll know after watching. This will be his first time on stage since his comeback. I'm just afraid that this fellow will be the first to get eliminated. Chu Dong's fan club. In a group chat. Why is it him? I know this Zhong Yi. He's such a cheat. Yeah, his works are all over the language textbooks. His essays are so damn difficult to memorize that I'm sick of him. Me too. I felt like vomiting when I was made to memorize Ode to Young China. My parents were both his fans in the past. I just don't get what's so good about him. He's not handsome at all and is totally lacking compared to our Chu Dong. Supporting Tzu Tzu to win as the greatest champion. Qi Liang's fan club. In a group chat. There's nothing about Zhong Yi to be afraid of. Yeah, our biggest opponents are Chu Dong and Haifei. Zhong Yi might have been awesome in the past. I believe anyone would admit to that. But there's no room left for him to stand in the entertainment circle. Our Chichi is the most handsome of all. As the most notorious and infamous hacker in the world, Zhong Yi still has the cheek to join this battle of the Grand Champions. Isn't he a little too thick-skinned? That's right, this person has such a tainted history. The people these days like idols who are clean-cut and handsome. He's only average-looking and has so many blemishes to his reputation. Celebrities like that are already slowly getting marginalized. Chichi will definitely be victorious. Kick that tainted celebrity out. Back at home. Zhong Yi's mother said, that kid really went to join the competition. His father said, if he wants to go, let him go. Do you think that you can still control him? His mother said angrily, I'm just afraid that he'll lose. That would be so embarrassing. At his eldest younger sister's house. His three sisters had gathered to catch the show on TV together. Wow, our bro is participating in the competition. It's true. I'm so looking forward to it. Bro. You can do it. Defeat those hunks. At Zhong Yuanqi's house. Her phone rang. Hello, Wei Hong. Sister Zhong, have you seen the news? I haven't been paying much attention to the entertainment circle's news for the past 2 years. All I get is you calling me to tell me about what's happening every day. What's the matter now? Did something happen again? Haha, Teacher Zhong has really gone to join the competition. The Battle of the Grand Champions? Yeah, they just announced the news. I knew that he wouldn't be able to sit idly by. Somewhere. The former Spring Garden Group. Although their group had disbanded, Xiaodong, Amy, and Li Xiaoxian still met up regularly. Look at this, Teacher Zhong has been confirmed as the representative of the first season of I Am a Singer. Ha ha ha, this is awesome. Can he win? Who knows? I only know that this has gotten much more interesting to watch. There are already signs of Chu Dong and Qi Liang's fans scolding him on the internet. Teacher Zhong has been away in jail for so many years, yet his social relations are still as crappy as ever. At Zhao Wuliu's house. Old Zhao, Zhong Yi went to join the competition. Really? They've already announced it. Hopefully he can help us win back some dignity. At the studio of a heavenly king. He's really gonna participate? Zhong Yi is still as ballsy as ever, huh? But what he doesn't realize is that he's no longer the heavenly king from before. Could he be thinking of reclaiming his throne as a heavenly king? Times have changed. How could it be that easy for him to make a comeback? In this battle of the Grand Champions, he might end up becoming the first person to get eliminated. In Zhong Yi's fan group number 37. Someone sprang out in this previously dead group. Big Saber Bro, brothers and sisters, how many people are still in here? Give me a shout out if you are. My large saber is again unable to endure the thirst. Immediately, 7 or 8 people responded. Big Saber Bro. I haven't seen Big Saber Bro in several years. Is it the real Big Saber Bro? Where have you been for the past few years? Big Saber Bro, it's me. I've been restricted from using the internet for the past few years. But now, I've finally regained my freedom. I'm currently gathering people by giving a shout out to everyone in different groups. For those of you who see this message, please pass it on. Tell our brothers and sisters from years ago that Teacher Zhong has returned, and that I have returned as well. How many of you are still willing to follow Teacher Zhong to take on the industry again? Hi, there aren't that many of us left from back then. Yeah, we used to have a full 1,000 members in each group in the past. Right now, there are at most 100 or so people left. Many of them have quit the group, and there are many who are just lurkers. It will be very difficult if we want to gather everyone back together again. Big Saber Bro, gather up however many people you can. Our friendship from years ago and the stories from that time, I'm sure that everyone wouldn't forget it just like that. It's only because a long time has passed, and some people have gotten married or had children, so they're busy with their own matters, that's all. Teacher Zhong will be taking part in the Battle of the Grand Champions very soon. This will be his first time appearing in public since his comeback, and it's going to be an elimination round competition as well. We've been slapping the faces of others all our lives, so it had better not become us who get slapped this time. Hurry, gather everybody. Get as many people as you can so that we can show Teacher Zhong we're still around. Sure. Understood. In the Celebrity Goof group. Back then, this was the most important celebrity group in the entertainment industry. The people who were added into this chat group were either heavenly kings and queens, or at least A or B-list superstars. But right now, most of the members in this group were washed up or retired from the scene. The chat group was deserted and no longer lively. Xu Mailan, at Zhong Yi, make sure you don't lose in the first round. Li Xiaoxian, Teacher Zhong, bring out your abilities and show them what you're capable of. Ning Lan, at Zhongyi Dam, so you really ended up joining? Xiaodong, pfut, wasn't it you guys who urged him to join? Shu Han, we were only saying it for fun. Chen Guang, haha, Zhonga, you better seek your own blessings. Fan Wenli, Zhonga, all of us will be supporting you. Go show those young guns what real singing is all about. That is, provided you can still sing. Amy, Teacher Zhong can't sing anymore? Fan Wenli, I don't know. I haven't heard him sing since he got back. Ning Lan, we didn't get to hear him sing either. Shu Mailan, why does it sound like the chances are getting lower the more I hear about it? I'm about to fall off the S-list rankings, so I was hoping that Teacher Zhong could shield me from that for a while longer. If he can get into the limelight more, the popularity of those male idols won't increase so quickly, and they won't be able to catch up to me so soon. Otherwise, I doubt I can stay in this seat for much longer. Ning Lan, then I guess you better not pin your hopes on him. Let's place our bets on how many rounds Teacher Zhong can last. Chen Guang, he should be able to last for at least 2 rounds, right? Amy, I estimate he'll last only 1 round. Ning Lan, 1 round, agreed. Xiaodong, don't joke around. Teacher Zhong will be so saddened if he sees this. Everyone, ha 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 ha. After several years, the group was still as joyous and fun as ever. At around 9 p.m., Zhongyi had finally returned home from Beijing television. When he turned on his phone to have a look, he saw many messages from his friends. Chen Guang, if I had not had surgery on my vocal folds during these 2 years, I would have gone instead. I'll leave the responsibility to you then. Don't disappoint the first season's class of I Am a Singer. You're not only representing yourself, you're also representing the entire lot of our old generation of singers. It's all up to you from here. Amy, Teacher Zhong, you can do it. Xiaodong, defeat all of them. Big Saber Bro Fan Yingyun, Teacher Zhong, I'm back as well. The incident from 4 years ago lifted the lid on some of my past misdeeds, like the matter of helping you to delete your Weibo posts and hacking into the official websites of the other celebrities. Later on, those idiots even banned me from using the internet. I finally had the restrictions lifted, so I'm trying to gather up the people of the fan club again. Wait for my good news. After Zhongyi read through every one of the messages, he smiled to himself. Anxiety? Anticipation? Excitement? He realized that he was feeling those emotions all at once. Zhongyi was very happy because he discovered that he still hadn't changed. Although he had taken many detours along the way, had a lot of bumps in the road, and undergone difficult trials and battles, he was still the same person he was before. 10 years of icy drinks can't cool my impassioned soul. Diving back into the struggle tonight. My spirit is still full of fight. Chapter 1551, The Battle of the Grand Champions begins. On this day. It was the day of the Battle of the Grand Champions. In the afternoon, at a kindergarten. Cece, over here. Daddy, my daddy is here. Come on, let's go home. Daddy, carry me. Haha, you clingy little girl. At the front gate of the kindergarten, Zhongyi had come to pick Cece up from school. The teachers were all very surprised to see him. Next to them, quite a few of the other children's parents crowded around them. They couldn't understand why Zhongyi was in the mood to come to school to fetch his daughter. His daughter's form teacher asked anxiously, "Aren't you taking part in the competition tonight?" Zhongyi was carrying his daughter and said with a smile, "Yes, it's happening tonight at around 8 p.m. Then why are you still so leisurely coming around to pick your daughter up?" one of the children's parents asked. Another teacher asked dumbfoundedly, "Don't you have to prepare for the competition tonight?" Zhongyi replied, "Of course I'm going to prepare for it. But I can't forget about my child either. Haha, no matter how important work may be, my daughter is much more important to me." He then lowered his head and gave Cece a peck on the cheek. "Right, my dear?" Cece nodded hard. Yes, Cece is the most important. Everyone could only take their hats off to him. They suddenly felt that Zhongyi was no longer the same person. For a moment, everyone felt even more pessimistic about Zhongyi's battle tonight. Being tied down with a family, how could Zhongyi possibly win? Could he still press forward without a care like the younger male idols of the entertainment industry these days? On Weibo. What time does it start? There are still 2 more hours to go. Let's see who will be the first to perform. Haha, my Tsuchi will definitely sweep everyone aside. Chichi will definitely be victorious. Hi is the best. Supporting John Yi. Previous poster, get lost. What does a band artist have against the might of our older brothers? When Teacher Jong was famous, those hunks weren't even around yet. That's such old news, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Who isn't more popular than Jong Yi now? He will surely be the first to get eliminated. At Beijing television. There was 1 hour left until the live broadcast began. Although Jong Yi was already running late, he still walked over at a leisurely pace. The other contestants had already arrived. Immediately, all of them looked at him. Xiao Lu was panicking badly. Brother Jong. My dear brother. Where on earth were you? I even had to call you twice before I could get through. The live broadcast is almost starting. Jong Yi smiled. I was cooking dinner, so I must have missed your call. Guan Shui said in a speechless manner, you cooked dinner today? Jong Yi said calmly, I even picked up my daughter from school. That's why I got delayed for a bit. Xiao Lu facepalmed. I really have to give it to you. Jong Yi laughed and said, I'm not the same as you. Having been separated from my family and home for those few years, I have a lot of regrets. So I can only slowly make it up to them. Qi Liang looked at him. Chu Dong was at a loss for words. Hai Fei was also rather taken aback. Pick up his daughter? Cook dinner? Don't you know what day it is today? This is I Am a Singer's Battle of the Grand Champions, the culmination of the 5 seasons of the show. Whoever wins this honor would surely be sent directly to the top of the Chinese entertainment circle to stand alongside the big brothers and sisters. Xiao Lu quickly said, we're going to begin immediately. I'll brief you once more regarding the procedures. Everyone will first have to draw lots, then, she went through the instructions very quickly. Jong Yi nodded. Understood. Xiao Lu subconsciously said, you must bear that in mind. After saying that, she suddenly realized who she was speaking with and couldn't help but blush in embarrassment. She tried to cough it off. This show itself was thought up by Jong Yi in the first place, and it was he who successfully produced and directed it. When Jong Yi was doing the live broadcast arrangements back then, Xiao Lu was just a member of his team. So when she finished saying those words, she couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed about it. But Jong Yi said, okay, I'll remember it. Xiao Lu chuckled and said, come off it. I had better stop all that bullshit in your presence. Jong Yi smiled. You're the executive director now, so of course I have to listen to you. In fact, Xiao Lu was very nervous today. She had served as the executive director of I Am a Singer for 2 years now. Previously, it had always been Hu Fei who was in this role. But when Hu Fei was promoted to become the deputy station head, Xiao Lu couldn't have expected that Brother Hu would hand over the star show of the station to her. She could still remember the exact words that Brother Hu said to her at that time. He told her that this show was left behind for them by Teacher Jong, so she mustn't screw it up and disappoint him. Those words remained very clear in her mind, so when she learned that Jong Yi was going to join the finale competition of the show, she couldn't help but feel perturbed. She felt even more nervous than when she first took over the reins as the executive director of the show. This was because she wanted to hand in the best possible answer that she could to Jong Yi. She wanted to let him know that the show he had brought into this world had not been screwed up by her, and that she had not disappointed him. The scheduled time was fast approaching. The preparations for the broadcast were all in order. After Xiao Lu had arranged everything, she suddenly went to Jong Yi on her own and said to him, Teacher Jong, there's something that I've always found very regretful. Jong Yi was startled. What is it? Xiao Lu looked at him. Back on the first season of I Am a Singer, you didn't win as the grand champion because we had forced you to save the day after the role of the host was vacated. But as the executive director of the show, and for the sake of the station, you made many sacrifices on your part. We at Beijing TV, as well as the people, all of us owe you the title of Grand Champion. You're not the executive director today, and you don't have any responsibilities for Beijing TV either, so you can finally sing as you like. It's time that you took home the title of Grand Champion. It belongs to you anyway, or at least, you should have been crowned as the Grand Champion 4 years ago. Zhong Yi smiled and patted her head in response. The Grand Champion was voted on by everyone, and nothing should ever be taken for granted. In this current day and age, do you still think that I can become the greatest champion? Xiao Lu said, of course. Zhong Yi shook his head and laughed. At Zhong Yi's maternal grandma's house, the whole family had gathered in front of the television. Has it started yet? It's beginning soon. Bro, you can do it. Old Chen's house. Chen Guang and Fan Wenli were both sitting quietly before their television. It's about to start. I'm feeling a little nervous. Why would you be nervous? I'm nervous for Zhonga, of course. At Yao Jiancai's house. Dad, hurry up. It's starting, it's starting. It's blown up all over the internet. Today's viewership ratings of I Am a Singer are gonna be heaven-defying. At old Wu's parents' courtyard house. Wu Changhe and some members of his family had gathered around to wait in front of the television. Will little Yi be able to do it? Who knows? I wonder how popular he still is. Dong Shanshan's house. Several of their old classmates had gathered here today. Comrade Yuingyi, why have you only arrived? Aya, I was caught in traffic. Shanshan, increase the volume of the TV. What song do you guys think Zhonga will sing today? It's probably going to be an old song. He's not writing songs anymore? Who knows if he can still write them? Having spent so many years in jail, his talents might have dried up. Hi, I feel such pain for our Zhonga. At home. Wu Ziqing was carrying Cici and sitting down on the sofa. Mommy, where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? Daddy will be out soon. Mommy, can Daddy win? If your daddy wants to win, he will not lose. It's been like this in the past, and it will be like this in the future. Chapter 1552, Taking to the Stage. On TV. The live broadcast was being shown. The host was someone called Kui Na. Ever since Dong Shanshan stepped down from her role as a Beijing television host, Kui Na took over the hosting responsibilities of I Am a Singer. She was one of the new generation of popular hosts. The host said, "Hello, everyone. This is Beijing TV, and welcome to the finale competition of I Am a Singer. Today, we've invited the representatives of the past 5 seasons contestants to hold a never-before-seen battle of the grand champions in the music industry. The 5 contestants are all very talented singers of the music scene, and they'll be coming together on the same stage for a versus competition in a bid to be crowned the greatest champion of the show. I believe that all of our viewers watching TV and the live audience at our venue cannot wait. Now then, we're only 10 minutes away from the official start of the competition. Everyone, follow me to the backstage to have a look at the drawing of lots. Who will be the first contestant to take to the stage today? Let's take a look. Backstage. There were a total of 5 waiting rooms. Room 1 was Zhong Yi. Room 2 was Guan Shui. Room 3 was Hai Fei. Room 4 was Qi Liang. Room 5 was Chu Dong. The room order was based on which season the grand champion had emerged from. The female host came to the door of the first room. She spoke excitedly to the camera with a smile, "We'll be knocking on the door of room 1 soon. I'm quite nervous. The teacher in there was once a legend of the entertainment circle, as well as my school senior. Returning to the industry after so many years, he has once again stepped onto the stage of I Am a Singer. This is a phenomenal stage that he had helped to build back then, so I believe his mood is a little different." Knock knock. A voice came from the inside. Who is it? The female host cautiously tried to push the door open. Senior, we'll be starting the competition soon. How are your preparations coming along? The man on the inside said, "SOSO, I guess." The female host pushed at the door a second and third time, then said, Why is it locked?" The man laughed and said, "I'll see you guys later on stage." The female host whispered into the camera, I believe a lot of people are quite curious about how Teacher Jong looks like now. Has he gained weight? Or did he become thinner? Ever since Teacher Jong's return, I haven't met him. The last time I saw him was 4 or 5 years ago when I was still in my 4th year of university. It was a lecture that Professor Jong had given at Media College, so Teacher Jong is an industry senior, a school senior, and also a teacher to me. Since Teacher Jong wants to leave his first meeting with everyone until he gets on stage, we'll respect his wishes. Come on then, let's go to the second room to have a look. Knock knock. Room 2's door opened. Sister Guan, I'm here. Nana. Today is the first round of the competition. Are you confident? No, I have no confidence at all. Ah. Haha, the youngsters these days are too strong. I can only do my best and hope that I won't get eliminated in the first round. Room 3. Teacher Little Hai, are you nervous? I am, in fact. What song have you prepared? Can you reveal it to us? Haha, that, I have to keep a secret. Room 4. Teacher Liang, we haven't met in a long time. Sister Nana, you've gotten prettier again. Haha, thank you. We'll be drawing lots soon. What order would you like to appear on stage? I don't ask for much, but it would be good if I were to appear 3rd or 4th. Room 5. Teacher Chu, you're the favorite to win as the greatest champion. A lot of people are very optimistic about your chances. Besides, as we know, you've just won as the grand champion half a month ago on the 5th season of I Am a Singer. So are you going to make a push for it as well this time and take the title of the greatest champion of the 5 seasons? Of course I would like to win, but everyone is very strong too, so it won't be easy at all. We're looking forward to your performance. All the best. Thank you. The interview ended. The highly anticipated drawing of the lots began. On Weibo. It's starting. Let's see who'll be the first to take the stage. Who's gonna draw lots first? Qi Liang is drawing first. Wow, it's number 3, not bad. Hai Fei is going first. Hai won't fear that. He tends to sing the more powerful type of songs, so going first is an advantage for him. Guan Shui is going second. Chu Dong drew 4th. Why hasn't Zhong Yi revealed himself yet? There's no need to do that. Everyone else has drawn their lots. He's going to appear last. I haven't seen Guan Shui in 2 years. It seems like she's put on weight. Yeah, I wonder what Zhong Yi looks like now. It doesn't matter what he looks like now. He wasn't handsome in the past. Our Tsu and Chichi are still the most handsome. Hai is also quite good looking as well. I've already decided to give my vote to Tsu. Damn, they haven't even started performing yet. Perform what? Who cares as long as they're handsome? For the old generation of singers, just leave them to be forgotten in time. Zhong Yuanqi's house. Ninglan said, Zhong's luck is quite good. Zhong Yuanqi said indifferently, that won't help. Ninglan said, true, it still depends on what song he sings. At Yao Jiansai's house. Yao Jiansai said, it's starting soon. Yao Mi replied, I've already told my classmates to vote for Uncle Zhong. How many people did you get? It's depressing. Only 2 of them responded positively to me. The others are all saying that they will be voting for Qi Liang and Chu Dong. To think that they graduated from Peking University. How could they forget how much they liked Uncle Zhong back then? People change. At Zhong Xia's house. Her daughter asked, is Teacher Zhong already in grave danger in the first round? Zhong Xia said, yes, everyone is saying that he'll likely be eliminated in the first round. Her daughter said, then what's going to happen? Zhong Xia said, that depends on him. Her daughter said, do you believe in Teacher Zhong? Actually, I don't know either. I haven't heard him sing in many years. The drawing of lots ended. There were only 5 more minutes before the competition began. The host had returned to the stage to mingle with the audience. Backstage, all of the staff and contestants were getting ready. On Weibo. In the forums. In everyone's moments. Today, at this moment, everyone was crazily posting and checking out the news online. The trending popularity of I Am a Singer's finale battle of the Grand Champions kept growing. An increasing amount of people were turning on their televisions to catch the live broadcast, and there was a continuous stream of people going onto Weibo to cheer on their favorite singers. The topicality of the show had shot through the roof. From the looks of it, it could only be imagined how glorious the viewership ratings would turn out. The entertainment circle had experienced a generational change. Many of the old variety shows from 4, 5, or 6 years ago were no longer around. For example, King of Masked Singers, Talk Show, as well as Do You Remember? Only I Am a Singer had firmly survived the changing times, and it even managed to become more popular. At the venue, the countdown was getting closer and closer. The audience was screaming in excitement. Hi hi! Hi hi, you can do it! Hi hi is the best! Supporting Hi hi! Glow sticks and LED light boards were being waved around by HiFa's fans at the venue. The next moment, when the stage lights dimmed and the spotlights focused onto the moon gate, the crowd blew up. Countless people stood up and started shouting. He's coming on! Hi hi is coming on! Ah, he's so handsome! Hi hi, I love you! Come on! The competition began. HiFa was the first contestant to take the stage. He bowed and gave his thanks. Amid the applause of the crowd, the music played. A song from HiFa's album that came out last year played on stage. Don't say you love me, I've always tried to hide. Not knowing how to face you. I've always tried to leave. Recalling the past's melody. Don't say you love me. I can only be silent. Don't say you love me. I know, it was my fault. Today, HiFa had uncharacteristically belted out a love song. It was very tender. It was very touching. Quite a few people in the audience looked like they were enchanted by the performance. When this song finished, the applause and screams nearly brought the roof down. The faces of several young ladies were streaming with tears. Their voices had all gone hoarse from shouting. Online. Let's vote. I already did. It's too good. Hi hi is great. Backstage. There was no camera set up in Zhong Yi's waiting room. He was alone and watching the live performance from the venue on the television. So this was a hot, young male star of this world? And he wasn't even the most popular one. Even if it were the heavenly kings and queens of his previous world, they would probably just be able to attract this level of screaming and shouting that was heard here. This was the first time Zhong Yi had come face to face with the popularity and appeal of the young studs of this world. No wonder his old friends were so pessimistic about his chances. No wonder his parents had not wanted him to join the competition. No wonder the people and netizens all felt that he would get eliminated in the first round. This was an era where the explosive popularity of male idols was unstoppable. Everyone had witnessed similar situations like this happening countless times in the past few years, and all of them were already used to it. No one could understand why Zhong Yi would choose to come here. Everyone felt that Zhong Yi was asking to be humiliated. They had such a high level of popularity and such passionate fans supporting them. Some of these fans could even have been his fans in the past. However, people changed, people moved on. It really wasn't going to be easy to seek what he had lost. Zhong Yi, how will you respond? Can you continue standing on a stage like this? Chapter 1553, The Ordinary Road. Guan Shui quietly went onstage amid scattered applause. Compared to HiFa's onstage appearance, it was an entirely different reaction. A melodious voice floated out. Where is the piano? Where does the sound drift? To the heavens maybe? Can this be fate? Guan Shui sang with all that she could. She hit the high notes. She sang in falsetto. She incorporated portamento into the song. She was constantly switching between different techniques. But not many people in the audience was taking her seriously. Online. The voting window had opened. Even before some of the singers had taken the stage to sing, the fans were already voting crazily for them. Hi shall be victorious. Damn, let me give my vote to Chichi first. I've already voted for Chu Dong. He hasn't even performed yet, big sis. So what? I'll just vote first. Guan Shui sang quite well too. Yeah, I voted for her. Has everyone already voted? Why aren't you all saving your votes until they finish singing? There are still 3 more contestants. Zhong Yi is in real danger. It was expected that he would be the first to get eliminated. Actually, a lot of people here were Zhong Yi's fans in the past, but there really aren't too many of them left. No matter what, he's still a former heavenly king. How can he get eliminated in just the first round? That would be so embarrassing. He asked for it for not admitting that he has become old and insisting on coming to compete with the hunks. Actually, I really want to know what song Zhong Yi will sing. On the stage. Qi Liang went on stage. The cheering was deafening. Chichi. Qi Liang. Qi Liang. Let's go. He's so handsome. Chichi, I'll love you forever. Many girls started crying the moment they saw Qi Liang. The extent of chasing after a star like that could only simply be described as feverish. Today, Qi Liang had chosen an English song to sing. It was also a genre that he was very adept at performing. The moment he opened his mouth, many people in the audience stood up. Compared to Haifei, he had even more fans. Qi Liang's popularity was much higher than Haifei's. Backstage. In room 1. An employee knocked on the door and entered. The employee said, "Director Zhong, teacher Chu Dong will be going on stage next. Please get ready for your turn." Zhong Yi laughed. "Don't address me as Director Zhong anymore." The employee scratched his head in embarrassment. "Hi, I'm used to calling you that." "I'm ready and can go at any time," Zhong Yi said. The employee said, "All right then, have some water. We'll bring you over in another 2 minutes." Zhong Yi nodded and figured that he might as well turn off the television. The room was suddenly plunged into silence, although the shouting from where the stage was could still be heard. There wasn't a lot of time left. He then lowered his head to look at his hands and discovered that they were actually trembling. It had been 4 years, for years without meeting the audience, for years without standing on a stage to perform. Will they still acknowledge me? Can my voice still move them? Zhong Yi did not know. He only knew that he had a lot of things that he wished to say to them. He really had a lot to say. "I'm back. But are you still here for me? Do you guys still remember my story?" The employee said, "Teacher Zhong, let's go." "All right." Zhong Yi stood up and went with him. As they got closer to the stage, the shouting in the venue became clearer. Chu Dong was still singing. Zhong Yi was in the holding area now. From where he was, he could see a portion of the audience and the stage. It was a very familiar sight and something that he missed greatly. This was the same stage as the one he helped to design. After 5 seasons, there wasn't too much change. For a moment, Zhong Yi lost his focus. He suddenly remembered many things, such as the explosive popularity of Small Apple, how Plaza dancing took the country by storm, and his finale song, The King of Karaoke. All of that was part of his story on this stage those years ago. After 4 years, he was back. Time really went quick. All of a sudden, thunderous clapping and roars pulled him back to reality. Chu Dong! Chu Dong! Chu Dong! The onstage performance had ended. The audience couldn't contain their excitement. Madness. Screams. Yells. All of the applause was for Chu Dong. Zhong Yi knew that it was time for him to go on stage. On Weibo. Tsu Tsu is invincible. This song was performed in such a godly manner. Chichi's song was quite good too. The greatest champion of the 5 seasons can only be a fight between Qi Liang and Chu Dong. Even if the others can sing in such a fantastic way, there isn't much hope of them winning. Yeah, their popularities are entirely different from these two. Who's the next singer? It should be Zhong Yi's turn, right? Next is the last one. I don't hold any hope for him. Hi, he shouldn't have joined at all. I don't even feel like listening to this blacklisted artist perform. Right, with such a tainted history, he thinks that he can challenge Chichi and Tsutsu? He's probably gonna get eliminated in the first round. Old Chen's house. Chen Guang was startled. It's Zhong Yi's turn. Fan Wenli actually became nervous. Will he be all right? Let's watch, Chen Guang said. Fan Wenli said he had better not get eliminated in the first round. At Zhong Yi's maternal grandma's house, his cousins were making a ruckus. It's our brother's turn. It's finally our brother's turn. This is suffocatingly tense. What song will our brother be singing? I don't know. It's probably going to be an old song? At old Wu's parents' courtyard house, Wu Changhe asked, "Hi, why have some people started leaving their seats?" Li Qingqin said, "I don't know." Wu Mo said, "Damn, this is so uncalled for." Li Qingqin said, "Yeah, why are the audience members leaving right now?" At Chu Dong's studio. Pfut. There are people standing up to leave? They probably want to visit the bathroom after watching the performances for so long. Go to the bathroom when it's Zhong Yi's turn? His social relations are god-awful then. His current popularity is really no longer the same as before. Back at home, Zhong Yi's mother roared, "What's the meaning of this?" His father was stunned. Why would they visit the bathroom right now? His mother said angrily, "I told him not to join the competition." See? What did I tell you? Dong Shanshan's house. What the hell? Zhong'e is in a dangerous position. Yeah, judging by the atmosphere, it really doesn't seem like he stands a chance of going through. Let's see how Zhong Yi will handle this. Can he turn the tide? Who knows? At the live venue, in the audience, a lot of people were leaving their seats. It's been an hour already. Yeah, let's make use of Zhong Yi's performance to quickly use the bathroom. Yeah, there's still the second round to go after this. I'll be looking forward to seeing Tsutsu's performance in the second round. Qi Liang is very good too. Haha, they're both quite good. Our ears are gonna have a feast today. Look, Zhong Yi has come out on stage. He seems like he has put on some weight. That's because he was too thin in the past. It's been so many years since I've seen him. Let's go to the bathroom first. We'll see how he performs after we get back. Over a dozen people were joking and laughing as they casually left their seats. At this moment, on camera, Zhong Yi had walked out of the Moon Gate. Some people were about to leave, while some remained seated. There was no applause. There were no cheers. The executive director, Xiao Lu, looked solemn. However, she was panicking badly on the inside. How did it end up like this? Why wasn't there any applause? Have you all really forgotten about Teacher Zhong? Zhong Yi slowly walked out and stopped in his tracks. He stood quietly on stage and looked into the audience. Looking at those people who were leaving their seats without even giving him a look, he did not say anything at all. There was nothing he could say anyway. All he did was hold his microphone as he slowly closed his eyes. At this moment, the entire nation's viewers were watching this scene on their televisions. The entire nation's viewers were staring at him curiously. Backstage, Qi Liang, who had finished performing, was shaking his head. Sitting beside him, Guan Shui let out a small sigh. This was a scene they had anticipated. The music played. But what no one expected that everyone would be stunned when Zhong Yi opened his mouth. The spotlights were focused on Zhong Yi. The melody of the music was gentle and melancholic. Then Zhong Yi opened his mouth. Under everyone's gaze, Zhong Yi gripped the microphone with his eyes closed. Standing on this stage that he helped build 4 years ago, he lightly sang. This was his first time singing a song in an official setting since his return. There were no high notes. There were no techniques. He was just singing one in a calm and quiet manner. As you waver on the pathway, will you move forward? Via, fragile, arrogant. That's how I used to be as well. In the audience, the people who had left their seats froze. Zhong Yi sang gently. impassioned, apprehensive. Where are you going? Via, silent as a puzzle. Are you listening to my story? The people who were leaving stopped in their tracks. They looked at Zhong Yi in surprise. Xiao Lu was stunned. The live audience members were dumbfounded. The people watching TV were staring in shock at their screens. Zhong Yi opened his eyes. He looked at the stage. He looked at the audience. He looked at everyone. He sang. I've traversed mountains and the seas, and cut through crowds of people. Once upon a time, I had it all. But it was all gone in the blink of an eye. I'd lost and was beyond hope, and even lost all direction. Until I saw that being ordinary was my only solution. Listening this, Xiao Lu's eyes reddened. At Yao Jiancai's house. He can still write songs? It's a new song. Old Zhong's house. This fellow is amazing. So he can still sing. Dong Shanshan's house. How has Zhong been living his life these past few years? To have a home that he couldn't go back to have a child that he couldn't see. Just tell me, how did he live through all of that? At the venue. Zhong Yi sang lightly. While you are still fantasizing about your future, via, will it improve, or worsen? For me, it's just another day. The crowd fell silent. The people who hadn't been paying attention to him earlier were now dumbfounded. Zhong Yi reached out and clutched his chest. His grip tightened as he sang. I once destroyed everything I held dear, so I had to leave for good. I once fell into endless darkness. I struggled but failed to get out. I've been like you, like him, even like weeds and wildflowers. I'm desperate and yearning, I cry and laugh, but stay ordinary. This was Zhong Yi's story. These were his experiences over the past 4 years. At Zhong Yi's parents' house. His mother was crying. Son. His father's eyes were a deep red. Back at home. Cici asked, Mommy, what's wrong? Wu Ziqing said, Mommy's fine. Mommy, don't cry. Okay, Mommy won't cry. Unstage. Zhong Yi sang. Move forward, keep going, even if you were given over. Move forward, keep going, even if you were robbed. Move forward, keep going, even if you miss out. Move forward, keep going, even if I've traversed mountains and the seas, and cut through crowds of people. I've asked all around the world, but have never gotten an answer. I'm just like you, like him, even like weeds and wildflowers. As I face the unknown, this is the only road I will take. Xiao Lu was crying. Many of the Beijing television staff were crying. Zhong Yi's old classmates were crying. Fan Wenli was crying. When many of the audience members at the venue realized it, tears were already dripping from their eyes. They couldn't even wipe them dry or get them off their faces. Zhong Yi lowered the microphone. Then he raised it again. Time flies by, and just like that. Tomorrow is here. Via, the wind blows, the road ahead is still long. How far am I into my story? The song ended. There was still no applause. There were still no cheers. There were still no screams. But Chu Dong froze. Qi Liang, Haifei, and the others also found it a little unbelievable. They discovered that many of the staff and audience members at the venue were crying. Those who had stood up to leave their seats, those who did not anticipate listening to Zhong Yi sing, all of them had thought that after so many years, Zhong Yi would have become a memory to them. They had thought that even after seeing Zhong Yi again, that passion in them from years ago would not get stirred up. They believed that they had all grown up and changed, that all of them had already moved on. But they didn't expect that when faced with Zhong Yi again, upon hearing him sing again, they would still burst into tears. His story from years ago had appeared in front of them once again. Chapter 1554, the contestant to be eliminated in the first round is, the music stopped. When the live audience was finally able to react, Zhong Yi was already quietly retreating from the stage. All they could see was his receding figure. In the audience, a child asked, Mommy, why are you crying? His mother wiped away her tears and said, Mommy doesn't know either. The child asked, Who is that uncle? His mother looked in the direction of Zhong Yi's departure. He was mommy and daddy's favorite celebrity in the past. A wife was wiping her tears away. Teacher Zhong's got wrinkles on his face. Her husband made a noise in acknowledgement. The wife said, "Hubby, have the times changed, or is it us who have changed?" The husband replied, "Maybe it is everything that has changed. But I realize that I still like him." "Hubby, what about you? Do you still like him?" The husband did not answer. The wife turned to look at him and was stunned by what she saw. She discovered that her husband was crying too. After so many years, a person from the past had returned. The ordinary road brought tears to countless people. Many memories flooded through in an instant. Zhong Yi, who fought a Korean celebrity to stand up for the average person. Zhong Yi, who went bankrupt in order to save his fan by lending her money to treat her disease. Zhong Yi, who typed out the words, "Whoever offends the mighty nation of China, however distant, shall be destroyed," for his country. He was back. That fellow who had caused them to fall madly in love with him, that fellow who had left them gnashing their teeth in anger, that fellow who had made them howl with laughter, he was back. He had changed. His hair had become shorter, and he had several more wrinkles on his face. However, he could still sing like before. That was an indescribable sense of nostalgia. A lot of people at the venue and watching television were lost in their thoughts at this moment. At old Yao's house, Yao Mi broke down crying. Yao Jinsai sighed, "It has really not been easy on Zhong these past few years." Yao Mi sobbed, "Uncle Zhong. Dong Shanshan's house. Why isn't anyone clapping? What's with everybody? Have they really forgotten all about Zhong? There were so many events, so many memories, how can they just forget him like that?" At Zhong Xia's house. "Mom, Teacher Zhong can still sing." "Yes. But will everyone acknowledge him? Little Zhong is back, and he's still the same little Zhong that we knew. But I wonder if the people are still the same." Zhong Yuanqi's house. The ordinary road? This fella has made me cry again with his singing. He has changed quite a bit. In the holding area. When Zhong Yi got back here, he bumped into Xiao Lu. Xiao Lu was crying. "Teacher Zhong." Zhong Yi smiled and went up to give her a hug. "What are you crying for? Did I not sing well? I thought it was quite satisfactory as I've managed to sing out what I wished to tell everyone. It was pretty good. But the audience, Zhong Yi said, "It's fine." Backstage. The contestants who had finished performing had returned here. Zhong Yi was the last person to arrive. Guan Shui stood up. "Teacher Zhong." Qi Liang also stood up. That was a good performance. Chu Dong also complimented him. How many years had Zhong Yi been in the entertainment industry? He could easily tell who was being sincere and who was not. He simply returned a smile and said thank you to them. Actually, Chu Dong, Haifei, and Qi Liang were all very surprised that so many people had cried after hearing Zhong Yi sing. In their opinion, the ordinary road had a very flat melody, without any high notes, and didn't require any techniques to sing it well. Although they had never heard this song before, possibly because it was a newly composed song by Zhong Yi, the song still had the vibes of an old song and had a completely different melody and rhythm from the contemporary pop music they were used to. Furthermore, be it the singing or technique, there was nothing special about Zhong Yi's performance, so why did the audience react in such a way? Instead, the only normal thing was the lack of cheers and applause from the audience at the beginning and the end of his performance. From this point alone, they knew that Zhong Yi would definitely be out of luck for this first round of competition. If there were no surprises, he would surely be the first one to be eliminated. They had never seen such a peaceful performance before. A performance that didn't even get applauded. So how many votes could he possibly get? It looked like it was just as everyone had expected. Zhong Yi would be the first person to lose his qualifications to become the greatest champion of I Am a Singer, and in that, they would have one less opponent. Zhong Yi's fan group number 7. Teacher Zhong. Damn, I'm crying. I cried too. I feel so terrible. Is there no one supporting Teacher Zhong anymore? There wasn't even any applause for him. Mother hecker, vote. Right, let's quickly vote. Where is everyone? Where did everyone go? Teacher Jong has returned. Where have all of you gone? Where? Are there only the few of us left? After listening to this song, how can you guys sit still or do nothing? Stop shouting. They won't hear you. Hi, the people from back then have gone their separate ways. Wait. Admin, what's the matter? What the hell? All of a sudden, several of the administrators were stunned. DI. Notifications of people applying to join the group exploded. Group number 7. Group number 8. Group number 15. Group number 37. All the formerly dead fan groups of Jong Yees blew up with alerts. Little Grass 55 reporting in. To our dear admins of Jong Yees fan group number 9, I'm back. Shishi is back. Old Chu 520 is back. Open up, I'm back. Jong Yee fan number 55 is back. I'm sorry, I left the group due to some family issues. But I'm back now. Mother hecker. Now that Teacher Jong is taking on the industry again, how can I not be a part of it? I've been busy with work, and my wife is really strict with me. I wasn't supposed to come in here, but when I heard Teacher Jong's song today, Mother hecking hell, I decided to check in again even if it means my death. Drifting Snow is back. Heejala is back. Familiar faces. Familiar nicknames. 10 people. 100 people. 1,000 people. The eyes of the group administrators welled up. Big Saber Bro scolded everyone the moment they entered the groups. You bunch of idiots, why did you just respond? Hurry up and vote. Spare us, Big Saber Bro. We'll immediately vote. My cell phone has been confiscated by my wife. I can't vote. Old Knife, why are you still so afraid of your wife? Damn, I won't let you say that about me. Watch how I take my cell phone back. Old Knife, you can do it. He's risking his life just to vote, ha ha. Ha 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 ha. At the venue. Watching TV. Everyone was getting very anxious as they waited for the final result. The host, Q&A, had come back out onto the stage. The first round of voting has ended. I believe that everyone has used the most practical of actions to show their support for the contestants they like the most. But unfortunately, of the 5 contestants in the first round, one of them will have to leave our stage. The voting results are in my hands. I won't be announcing the rankings of the first round. However, I will be announcing the name of the contestant that has been eliminated. So then, the contestant who will be leaving us in the first round of the culmination battle of I Am a Singer is, the crowd fell silent. It was all quiet in front of the televisions. In the contestants' zone backstage, no one made a sound. Q&A looked at the camera and recited, Guan Shui. At this moment, a lot of people were dumbfounded. At Jong Yee's maternal grandma's house. Our brother has advanced into the top 4. Ha 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 ha. Old Chen's house. The kid has made it, huh? He actually advanced. Dong Shanshan's house. Ayo, that scared the hell out of me. I was so scared too. I thought that Jonga would become the first contestant to leave the show. Yeah, there wasn't any applause earlier. Backstage. Qi Liang was surprised at this result. How? Chu Dong was shocked. Shouldn't it be Jong Yi? Hai Fei was also astonished. Jong Yi managed to remain in the competition? How was this possible? There wasn't any applause. How did he manage to stay on? Just how on earth did he manage to stay on? Were people still supporting him? What spot did he take? Jong Yi was also startled. But Guan Shui wasn't surprised at this result, nor did she reveal a disappointed look. Instead, she just smiled, stood up, and gave a hug to every contestant to bid farewell. Hai Fei said, Sister Guan, I can't bear to see you go. Guan Shui smiled and said, I'm leaving now. Do your best, everyone. With the camera around, everyone was exchanging pleasantries. It was only when Guan Shui hugged Zhong Yi that she whispered, "All the best. Do be careful in the second round. I hope you can go all the way and give us something to cheer about." Zhong Yi only said one word in reply, "All right." Chapter 1555, a song called Immense World. On TV. The live broadcast continued. Guan Shui had been the first contestant to get voted off the stage. However, no one was lamenting this as the second round of the Battle of the Grand Champions was about to take place immediately. Another contestant was going to get voted off. That would cut down the number of competing singers for the culmination battle to 3 people. The drawing of lots began. Who would stay on? Who would advance to the top 3? Who would get a chance to compete for the title of Greatest Champion the following week? It would all depend on this next round. Backstage, the staff had already brought out the little balls representing the order of appearance. Many people were watching the proceedings nervously on TV. Haifei picked a ball. Qi Liang picked a ball. Chu Dong casually picked a ball as well. The remaining ball was given to Zhong Yi. Opening them up, the order of appearances was determined. Zhong Yi was going to sing first. Haifei was next. Chu Dong would be third. And Qi Liang would go last. Seeing this outcome, the trio of Qi Liang, Haifei, and Chu Dong heaved sighs of relief. When Zhong Yi didn't get eliminated, they were all rather surprised. Neither could they understand why that had happened, just like how the people of Zhong Yi's generation could not understand how this era belonged to the hot, young male stars, and vice versa. Furthermore, being so well known back then, and with so many legends about him in the industry, they were naturally more wary of Zhong Yi. This time, with Zhong Yi performing first, there was clearly no chance that he could compete with them. Only with this arrangement did they feel relieved. It looked like the climactic battle of the Grand Champions next week was going to be a fight between the 3 male idols. In their opinion, this was how it should have been in the first place. But Zhong Yi didn't seem to mind and was looking rather indifferent on camera. At Zhong Yi's maternal grandma's house, his 3 sisters were all getting anxious. "Oh no, oh no. Our brother is going to perform first? This is not good." Dong Shanshan's house. He didn't draw a good lot. This is the worst order of appearance for him. Zhonga has just finished singing and didn't get enough rest. Yeah, and his remaining opponents are all hunks. In Zhong Yi's fan groups. What the hell? Old Zhong is too unlucky. Did he not wash his hands before drawing lots? He's in danger this time. Old Chen's house. He just made his comeback, and his popularity hasn't recovered. It's indeed a very difficult situation for him to be performing first. I wonder how many fans he still has left at this point. No one knows. At Xiaodong's house, the remaining contestants are all male idols. How is he going to fight this battle? Come on, Teacher Zhong, show us if you've really become old. On TV. The host, Kui Na, said, "Next, we'll be going into the second round of the performances." Everyone watched intently. Countless people were holding their breaths. The lights flicked off and the moon gate was illuminated. The figure of a person slowly walked out. The audience was still as quiet as before, just like how it was when Zhong Yi appeared on stage earlier. Some people had raised their hands to clap, but they suddenly put them down again. Some people were already standing up and getting ready to shout, but they sighed and sat back down again. Nobody knew how they should be reacting. Right now, everyone was experiencing very complex emotions. They were all still intoxicated from the earlier song and by their memories of Zhong Yi. Zhong Yi's return had come too suddenly. The war between humans and machines. Announcing his comeback. Producing a television drama. Taking to the stage of I Am a Singer. A lot of people were not mentally prepared for this, and they didn't know how to face this man they had nearly forgotten about, whom they had once loved and hated so much. Time could be a terrifying thing sometimes. Just a few years were enough for them to forget about many things. Back at Zhong Yi's final concert, many of them had shouted and declared that they would wait for Zhong Yi to return, that they would always support him. But it wasn't until now that they realized they hadn't fulfilled their old promise. shame, regret, guilt. It was extremely quiet at the venue. Many of these people were gritting their teeth. Many of their eyes had reddened. Many of them were balling up their fists. Then the strings of a guitar disrupted the silence. Rock? Was this rock and roll? They looked in shock at Zhong Yi, who was on stage. They realized that he was looking back at them. He was looking at everyone in the audience. He raised his microphone. Zhong Yi sang one. Are you tired yet? Will you put out your hands? If you want a hug, how can you clench your fists? We still have a lot of dreams to achieve. And many tomorrows to travel. We want to let the world hear our song. In the audience, a married couple suddenly started crying. They couldn't control their emotions anymore. Qi Liang was stunned. Haifei was stunned. This song, Zhong Yi looked at everyone and sang. Are you ready yet? Time doesn't flow back. There's no reason for wanting to fly. The ends of the world may get lonely, but you will have me by your side. All of a sudden, his voice went higher. We've said before that it doesn't matter how immense the world gets. That's right. They had said it before. That they would stay with him all the way. That they would support him forever. Why had they forgotten? Why? A young stood up in tears. A young woman stood up with her fists clenched. Zhong Yi sang loudly. Let's fly to the place highest, furthest, and freest. Embrace in the most beautiful moment. I want to see who will stay friends with me to the very end. You are the one I hope seeing the most. I am back. I know that you all are still around. I know it. It has been 4 years. I am standing on this stage today because I want to tell all of you that I am back. Perhaps this is a little headstrong of me. But all those stories that we haven't finished writing, I really hope that we can complete them together. This journey that we haven't completed yet, I really wish that we can try again to complete it together. Will you guys come along with me? Are you still willing to accompany me on this final journey? Zhong Yi clutched his chest and sang loudly. We can get into trouble, stay quiet, and walk together. We can soar together and land together. Please let me see all of you again. Please let me hear all of you again. I can still fight. I can still sing. My passion hasn't cooled. But what about you guys? Have you turned cold? He opened his eyes and clutched his chest tightly. He shouted. Stay with me no matter how immense the world gets. Stay with me and roar together. At this moment, the crowd erupted with excitement. At this moment, everyone watching television could feel their pulse racing. A commotion followed. All of the audience members shot to their feet. They crazily stretched out both their hands and shouted out like crazy. Xiao Lu had her right hand held up high. Tears were streaming from Han Qi's eyes. A lot of people were crying and singing with him. Screams. Shouts. Howls. They had all gone mad. Everyone was in a craze. The entire stage seemed to have combusted. Zhong Yi howled. Let's storm to the place highest, furthest, and vastest. Let's finish singing the most touching song. I won't let go without seeing that immense world for myself. Because I have friends that I really want. The music stopped. The accompaniment stopped. 1 second. 2 seconds. Zhong Yi sang lightly, you are the friend that I want the most. With that, he put down the microphone and looked at the audience. Seeing those passionate and excited faces, he smiled. He smiled, grinned in delight, almost to the point of tearing up. Hello, everyone. I trust you've been well. Chapter 1556, the eliminated contestant of the second round. At Zhong Xia's house. Mom. Teacher Zhong, he's amazing. Yeah. I'm so pumped. That kid is amazing. Dong Shanshan's house. The old classmates were clamoring. He's so hecking awesome. Those high notes, those vocals. That's what you hecking call singing. My blood is racing with excitement. What should I do? At Xiaodong's house. Xiaoxian, why are you crying again? I can't help it. This is the real Zhong Yi. He's really come back. I wonder how many people are still willing to accompany him on his journey. At a male idol studio. How could this happen? HHE's still so good at singing? Hasn't he been in jail all these years? At an entertainment company. Who said that he can't write songs anymore? I don't know. Someone claimed so on the internet. Utter crap. I have a hunch that Zhong Yi will start something big again now that he's back. Surely not, right? Everyone admittedly knows that the entertainment industry is now in the age of the male idols, right? Ning Lan, Zhong Yuanqi, Zhong Xia, Yao Jiancai, all of them have already taken a step back, haven't they? But he's not the same. Ah? How is he different? Because he's Zhong Yi. Even if it's him, in this day and age, he can't win against the male idols, right? Who can say for sure? Backstage. In the respective rooms of the three hot, young male stars, there was applause all around. Well done. This is such a nice song. What a great song. Cameras had been placed in all of their rooms. However, their mood right now couldn't be in a more tumultuous state. So this is Zhong Yi? This is the most legendary celebrity of that era? When Zhong Yi was calling the shots years ago, they hadn't even debuted yet. Naturally, they knew who Zhong Yi was, had listened to his songs and watched his variety shows, and even read his novels and poetry as well. But to deal with him face to face, this was really a first. Honestly, they were all quite shocked. If they were a little unsure because of Zhong Yi's first song, then his second song had truly scared them. It was truly amazing. For the celebrities of that era, none could emerge from the rest of the competition without having some real skills. However, they still did not think that the current Zhong Yi could compare on this stage with them. After all, the level of popularity between him and them was too different. They were very popular currently, while Zhong Yi had been away for too long and was in the twilight of his popularity. Zhong Yi might enjoy a greater popularity than Guan Shui, who was also a has-been singer. At her peak, Guan Shui was only a domestic A-list frontrunner, while Zhong Yi had peaked at the summit of Asia once before. If they thought about it that way, all of this would feel more acceptable. But compared to them, Zhong Yi's current popularity was clearly far from theirs. The three of them and their teams, as well as their talent agencies, all firmly believed it to be that way. An employee entered. Teacher Little Hai. Yes? It's your turn. Okay. Hai Fei took a deep breath and gave a confident smile before he strode out of the room. Zhong Yi came backstage. He was the first to finish performing in the second round, and he was alone in the room. He sat down and had a drink, then looked up at the television as he slowly waited for the other contestants to take the stage. He had already done all that he could do. He had no regrets. All he was waiting for was the results. It wasn't because Zhong Yi placed a great importance on winning or losing, but that he wished to know how many people were still willing to accompany him for the rest of his journey after listening to his song. That was much more important to him. That was way, way more important to Zhong Yi. On the live broadcast, Hai Fei's singing drifted out. On Weibo, Hai Fei's fans were canvassing for votes from wherever they could. Let's vote. Vote for Hai Hai. He sings great. Wow, he even rapped in his song. This is the critical period where only 3 out of 4 will advance. Hurry up and cast your votes. Next. It was Chu Dong's turn to perform. It became even more boisterous on Weibo. What the heck was Hai Fei singing? I still find Su Tzu to be a better singer. Don't listen to Zhong Yi and get cheated of your tears. Give your votes to Chu Dong. Ha ha, surely our Su Tzu doesn't need our canvassing of votes, right? He has so many fans, so even if only 2 out of 10 fans were to vote for him, he would still have more votes than the other contestants, right? Yes, yes. I was actually thinking of voting for our Su Tzu too. But when I heard Zhong Yi perform his song just now, I don't know what came over me, and I ended up giving him my vote instead. Heck, me too. The previous two posters, can you get a hold of yourselves? We know we were at fault, but Zhong Yi sang really well. Finally, Qi Liang took to the stage. Chichi's performance today is so awesome. Yeah, his singing has always been among the best in the music industry. Indeed, it's really awesome. But I still gave my vote to Zhong Yi. What? Shui, you're a senior member of Chi-Chi's fan club, how could you? Asterisk cries asterisk actually, I was Zhong Yi's hardcore fan 4 years ago. When I heard those two songs by Teacher Zhong today, I just couldn't hold back my tears anymore. Asterisk kneels asterisk please forgive me. This is so depressing. Shui has betrayed us. Can't blame Shui for that. I also gave my vote to Teacher Zhong. There are some things I thought I had forgotten about, but when I saw Teacher Zhong again, I realized that I wouldn't be able to forget those things all my life. The second round of performances came to an end. Haifei, Chu Dong, and Qi Liang had all returned backstage. Haifei smiled and said, Teacher Zhong, I'll have to seek some pointers from you in the future. Zhong Yi smiled back. Sure. Qi Liang also said, Brother Hai, you sang really well. Haifei said, thank you. Chu Dong said, this is so stressful. Haifei said, what's there for you to be stressed about? I should be the one who's stressed. Zhong Yi didn't really say anything. It was mainly the three young men who were exchanging pleasantries. At least on the surface, it looked like they all had mutual respect. But as for what they were thinking, only they themselves knew. But from this exchange, one thing could be verified. The three of them still acknowledged each other, while there was some level of subconscious ostracizing of Zhong Yi. Perhaps they had judged early on that Zhong Yi wouldn't qualify for the culmination battle of the Grand Champions next week. The contestants gathered and sat waiting for the final result. They were all looking at the television. The live audience was looking at the host. The viewers were also staring fixedly at their TVs. Host Kui Na stepped out onto the stage. Kui Na said, I hereby announce that the voting for the second round of I Am a Singer's Battle of the Grand Champions has ceased, and the final results have been sent to this tablet in my hand. So then, let's have a look. She lowered her head to take a look and was slightly taken aback. Very quickly, she hid her expression and looked up again. Next, I'll be announcing the name of the contestant who will be leaving in the second round. Unfortunately for him, he will also lose the qualification rights to take part in the culmination battle next week. It was quiet. A lot of people did not even dare to breathe. In the media. Among the celebrities of the entertainment circle. At the various celebrity studios. At the entertainment companies. Among the public. Countless people pricked their ears up. They heard Kui Na say, the contestant that will be leaving our stage after the second round is, with a long pause, she finally read out the name. Haifei. At Zhong Yi's maternal grandma's house. His three sisters were jumping with joy. Ah! Our brother has won. Ha 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 ha. Dong Shanshan's house. Holy heck! Zhong has advanced into the top 3. Heavens! This hacker has actually defeated one of the young guns. Chen Guang's home. Holy shit! I didn't hear it wrong, did I? No, you didn't. Haifei has been eliminated. Zhong is too fearsome. At Xiaodong's house. Awesome. This is so awesome. This is the first time I've heard of a celebrity from our time defeating a male idol. Yeah, this is the first time it's happened. Teacher Zhong has really advanced. Haifei Studio. How is that possible? How can Hai possibly lose to Zhong Yi in terms of popularity? How is that possible? Online. Countless netizens were also dumbfounded. Wasn't Zhong Yi supposed to be the one to get eliminated? How can this be? Just how many fans does Zhong Yi still have? That is too surprising. That's one of the most popular hunks around. And he actually won against him? Chapter 1557, Predicting the Champion. Monday. In the morning. The rebroadcast from that day was replaying on television. So then, with the final list confirmed, the 3 contestants who will be competing for the title of the greatest champion of I Am a Singer's culmination battle are Chu Dong, Qi Liang, Zhong Yi. Let us look forward to their performances next week. Let us look forward to the finale night of the Battle of the Grand Champions. Who will get crowned as the greatest champion? Please stay tuned and catch us again next week at the same time. There was also a bombardment of news. I Am a Singer's viewership ratings are out. I Am a Singer once again takes first place in the nationwide viewership ratings. I Am a Singer breaks the variety viewership ratings record again. Zhong Yi fights his way out of a predicament. Zhong Yi advances as the final 3. Experts express incredulity. Hai Fei is unexpectedly eliminated. At the entrance of the kindergarten, Zhong Yi's car arrived. Instantly, over a dozen reporters sprang out and rushed over from nowhere. It was as though they had just appeared out of thin air. They came out from behind the doors, the bushes, and every nook and cranny to surround Zhong Yi. Teacher Zhong, I am from the Beijing Times. Teacher Zhong, can you please take an interview from us? Did you make a comeback this time to take back your spot on the Heavenly King's throne? How confident are you of becoming the overall grand champion of I Am a Singer's culmination battle? Do you think that you can really win against the fresh meat celebrities? Teacher Zhong, please give us an exclusive interview with you. How have you made it through all these years? What was life in prison like for you? The male reporters and female reporters were all pushing their cameras and microphones up at him. When Zhong had just announced his comeback, no one paid any attention to him at all. But overnight, after I Am a Singer was broadcast, Zhong Yi's name was once again being tossed up by everyone. The media reporters also came in droves to wait for him. It was too unexpected and they found it really surprising. No one could have expected that a has-been celebrity like Zhong Yi would actually be able to stand up so well against the most popular contemporary fresh meat celebrities. He had actually advanced into the finals of the competition. Zhong Yi laughed and said, "Will you all please let me drop off my child first?" A female reporter asked anxiously, "Please say a few words to us before that." Zhong Yi smiled. "Actually, I don't know what to say either." That female reporter chuckled and said, "With that mouth of yours, all of us here wouldn't be able to out-talk you at all. If even you are not sure of what to say, then the entire world's population should just be dumb and mute." Zhong Yi was amused. "Sister Ju, I have just returned to the industry, but you're already making fun of me so soon." That female reporter exclaimed, "Oh my, you still remember me? We're already such old friends, how can I forget?" Zhong Yi looked at the others and saw that there were 2 of them whom he remembered as well. "Old who, old son, how long has it been already? Why are you all still out on the front lines doing field reporting?" The few of them laughed in embarrassment. "I guess that's our lot in life." Zhong Yi quipped, "It's because you all keep ambushing me like this that you're unable to get a promotion." The few of the reporters, "Pfut, is that how it is?" All of the reporters were amused when they heard that. However, Zhong Yi's words warmed their hearts up. As a former Asian heavenly king who had bid farewell to the entertainment industry for the last 4 years, he was still able to recognize every reporter who had interviewed him back then and could even affectionately call them by their names. They were willing to bet that no other celebrity could do what he had just done. Zhong Yi was truly different from the others, he was really different from the other celebrities of the entertainment circle. On this point, for years on, this feeling was further reinforced. A lot of reporters hated Zhong Yi. For years ago, it was so. For years later, it was still the same. A lot of reporters liked Zhong Yi. For years ago, it was so. For years later, it was still the same. Zhong Yi carried his child and spoke with the reporters for quite a while before heading into the school. In the kindergarten, the teachers and parents of the students were all thrilled to see him. "Ayo, Teacher Zhong is here. You sang so well. Those 2 songs which you performed yesterday had really left me in tears." "Me too. It has been so long since I've heard anyone sing like that. Congratulations, Teacher Zhong. What are you planning on singing this week? Yeah, reveal a little bit to us. I'm so looking forward to it." "You can do it, Teacher Zhong." Zhong Yi said gratefully, "Thank you, Thank you. Cece was feeling so proud that she walked around with her head held up really high. In the morning. At the studio. It had been a long time since Zhongyi dealt with the media, and he was almost unable to cope with handling them anymore, having become quite unfamiliar with how to deal with such situations. When he pushed open the studio's door, he got yet another fright. Bang! Bang! The confetti streamers came flowing down. All of the staff at the studio were cheering and clapping. Director Zhong. You're so awesome. Congratulations on winning your opening battle, Director Zhong. You won it so beautifully that day. You left me crying so raucously at home. Ha Chichi gave him the thumbs up. Zhongzhou was also laughing out heartily. They were all really happy for him from the bottom of their hearts. Back then, when they knew that Zhongyi was going to participate in the competition and challenge the fresh meat celebrities, many of them objected to it. They really did not want Director Zhong to start a war against those people so quickly upon his return. Some things just wouldn't stand up well to comparisons, and that applied to one's popularity as well. But who could have thought that Director Zhong would be so fearsome? He had actually managed to stay on until the finals even though he was at such a disadvantage. Although Haifei was not the most popular one amongst those three, although he was still a level below Qiliang and Chudong, it still left everyone extremely surprised. Zhongyi had been away from the entertainment circle for 4 years prior to this. At this moment, there was the sound of knocking on the door. At the next moment, the door was pushed open by someone. A man and a woman both walked in with a smile. Where's Zhong? Zhongyi turned around to look at them and was stunned for a moment. Then, he broke into a smile and said, "We've rare guests." Ha Chichi said, "Teacher Chen Guang?" Zhongzhou was surprised to see them as well. "Teacher Fan Wenli? What rare guests?" Chen Guang went up to give him a hug. "Kid, you didn't even treat us to a meal since you came back and we had to come here personally to look for you." Zhongyi laughed and said, "I was busy." Fan Wenli waved and said, "Hi, Director Zhong." Zhongyi waved back. "Old Fan, you still look the same." Fan Wenli gave a bitter smile. "I've become older already." Zhongyi glanced in the direction of Chen Guang and said, "He does look much older now, but not you." Chen Guang rolled his eyes. "Get lost." "Ha ha." Zhongyi said, "How's your throat?" Chen Guang casually played it down and said, "Just like that, it's no big deal." But Fan Wenli explained on his behalf, he can still sing, but he can't hit the high notes as strongly as before anymore. Otherwise, he would surely have grabbed at the chance to appear in this culmination battle of I Am a Singer. "Do you think he'd have pushed it to you?" Chen Guang laughed and said, "It was the correct decision to let Zhong go. Hurry up and bring the trophy back for our first season's class of singers. Everyone is waiting for your victory report." Zhongyi smiled. "That will be difficult." Chen Guang said, "You so talented, how could anything hinder you?" On Weibo, a lot of netizens were making their predictions about this week's Battle of the Grand Champions. The live broadcast of the competition this time had garnered a much higher viewership rating than the grand finals of I Am a Singer's 5th season, so just imagine how it was like. Almost everyone was watching it and discussing about it. It had already become the grandest occasion of the music industry. In the end, even the media and the entertainment circle's industry insiders joined in the discussion. From the participants' singing skills to their popularities, an in-depth analysis was carried out. Zhongyi is really such a dark horse. We've witnessed the glory of a heavenly king again. The overall grand champion should be Qiliang, right? Get lost, it will surely be our Chu Chu. It's possible that Zhongyi might win too. Zhongyi has the least chance of winning it. Haifei's elimination was purely accidental. This sort of surprise wouldn't happen again, or that would be abnormal. It just wouldn't be logical at all. I admit that at the peak of Zhongyi's popularity, Qiliang and Chudong would both not be a match for him. But he has already been away for the past 4 years, so there's no reason why his popularity wouldn't have dropped. In any case, I wouldn't believe that to be the case. Let's just wait for the finals this week to find out whether he's a mule or a horse. Qiliang, Chudong, and Haifei's popularity are absolutely on a different level from Zhongyi's. Don't underestimate teacher Jong. We have all witnessed his capabilities before 4 years ago. Exactly, that was 4 years ago. Chapter 1558, The Same Moonlight. Time went by very quickly. In the blink of an eye, it was the day of the competition again. But on this morning, there was a subtle change in the atmosphere. Zhong Yi's past deeds and dirt were suddenly dug out again by someone. The Japanese hotel incident. The flying kick to the Korean star. Being held at the police station. The scolding battles. The comics getting castrated. One after another, some people were listing the incidents. Someone was clearly instigating them. Soon after, some male idols Zhong Yi did not know stepped forward. Yang Han's Weibo openly declared, "Brother Qi Liang, you can do it. We're at the final stage, so, everyone, please show your support. Thank you." Little Xian's Weibo, "This is the final push in I Am a Singer's climactic battle. Everyone, don't forget to give your votes to Tsutsu, my little godbrother." Big Ci's Weibo, "The battle is about to begin, and this is going to be the final one. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's support for Chichi and Tsutsu in the live broadcast. These two youngsters haven't had it easy at all. They've been practicing their songs until early in the morning every day, so much so that the dark circles under their eyes are getting more and more pronounced. Hard-working artists who are willing to suffer like them are decreasing these days. 5. 10. 20. The fresh meat celebrities were all calling for support and pulling votes for their friends. There was really a good sense of team spirit going on. The netizens were talking about this as well. Yang Han is pulling votes for Qi Liang. Little Xian has spoken as well. There are so many big names canvassing for votes for them. Chu Dong and Qi Liang have so many friends. Yeah, they're both extremely popular big names, so of course they'd have a lot of friends. Isn't this against the rules? The competition hasn't even started yet and they haven't even performed their songs, so how can they be campaigning for votes now? Are they still competing in singing this way? Isn't this more like a popularity contest? Yeah, it's a little too much to do it like this. This is where Zhong Yi loses out. Yeah, that guy's social relations have always been terrible. Didn't Zhong Yi's friends help him canvass for votes? His friends are all from the previous generation of artists and are either has-beens or retired. Even if they were to canvass for votes on his behalf, how great of an effect would it have? The finals are too dependent on one's popularity. Then Zhong Yi doesn't stand a chance. I wonder how many people are still willing to accompany him on his journey. At night. At the recording venue of I Am a Singer. The audience had already arrived and gotten seated. Chen Guang is here? Zhong Xia too? And there's also Zhao Wuliu? He Huan? Shui Kaiki? There are so many contestants from the first season of I Am a Singer here today. Over there. The contestants from the 4th and 5th seasons are here as well. Beijing TV must have invited them to cheer the contestants on. This is gonna be interesting. In the front row, Chen Guang, Zhong Xia, and a few others were chatting. Did you all see what's happening on Weibo? Yeah, little Zhong is at a huge disadvantage. They're campaigning for votes so fiercely on there. I wonder if little Zhong can hold on if it carries on. Should we help him to get votes too? Forget that. Don't you guys know Zhong Yi's temper? He would never want us to do something like that. That's true. At old Wu's house. In the villa. The entire family had gathered here today. Wu Ziqing, Zhong Yi's parents, Wu Changhe, Li Qinqin, and the rest of the family were all sitting around the television, watching as they waited for the event to begin. They all knew how important this day was for Zhong Yi. Mommy, where's Daddy? Daddy will be appearing very soon. There are only 3 contestants left. Let's see which spot he manages to pick. The further behind, the better. Yeah, the situation is very unfavorable to little Yi. In the music industry. At a party. Has it started yet? Soon. Let's talk while we watch. Who does everyone think will win? Teacher Zhong should have been eliminated already. That might not be true. Those 2 male idols can't compare when it comes to singing. But the problem is that Zhong Yi isn't popular enough, isn't it? The real competition today will be on their popularities. At a media outlet. It was past working hours, but several reporters had gathered together in the office to watch the show. It is the final battle today. Do you all think that Zhong Yi can still call the shots like he used to? Who knows? I think this is where it ends for Zhong Yi. I do feel some sympathy for him as well. Leaving the industry for so many years and coming back to find out that it is no longer the same is such a terrible feeling for anyone. Online. It's starting. They're about starting drawing lots. Let's see what order they will perform in. Chu Dong is going third. Qi Liang is second. Zhong Yi is going first again. This fellow is so unlucky. Looks like it's truly over for Zhong Yi then. The live broadcast began. The first segment was drawing lots to decide the order of appearances in the third round. Zhong Yi did not even move and just left it to the two youngsters to go ahead with picking their lots. Whatever remained would be his lot, and unfortunately, he was going to be the first to perform again. The order was determined. Zhong Yi smiled and got up to head to the holding area. Over at the live broadcast stage, the host was interviewing the various groups of guests. Everyone, do you have any words of encouragement or something that you'd like to say to the contestants? Season 5's class of singers. Come on, Xiu. You must win as the champion. Bring the trophy back for our class of Season 5. Season 4's class of singers. Chichi, don't be nervous and sing well. Of course we hope that it will be Qi Liang who takes the title of greatest champion. Chichi is the representative of our Season 4 singers. We are all very confident in him. At this moment, the microphone was handed over to Season 1's class of singers. Chen Guang did not know what to say and handed the microphone to the next person. Shui Kaiki shrugged and passed it on again. Zhao Wuliu didn't even take the microphone and pretended not to have noticed. Eventually, the microphone came into Grandma Zhong's hands. Grandma Zhongxia laughed for a bit, took the microphone, and said, I don't think there's much for us to say. Little Zhong knows what he needs to do, so there's no need for us to say anything. There was no canvassing for votes. There was no unnecessary banter. Kui Na gave an awkward cough before taking the microphone back and handing it to the 4th and 5th season singers. They were unlike the class of singers from the first season and were more fond of showmanship and talking. When the microphone was in their hands, they couldn't stop chattering. Brother Qi, win it and treat us to a meal. Xiu, prepare yourself well. We're all here to cheer for you. It's all up to you today. The title of the greatest champion will definitely be won by our Season 4 representative. Go away, it will be our Season 5 representative who wins it. Everyone, please remember to vote. Both of the group's guests were happily bickering with one another. Their groups mainly consisted of other male idols who were also very young. They had a very strong sense of variety and knew how to speak well. A few minutes later, Kui Na announced, next up, the third round of performances will begin. Let's welcome the first singer onto the stage. The crowd fell quiet. The TV viewers also hushed up. The spotlights focused onto the moon gate. Zhong Yi had been waiting there for a long time and heard everything that was being said on stage from where he was standing. Without saying anything, he slowly walked up onto the stage. Everyone was looking at Zhong Yi. They wanted to know what song he would be performing today. There are all kinds of unfavorable news about you online. Your opponents have also been canvassing for votes from everywhere. This is no longer your era, so how can you still compete with them on popularity? The entertainment circle is no longer the entertainment circle where you used to call the shots. So what more can you do? Zhong Yi nodded at the band. The band members nodded back in acknowledgement. In the next moment, the sounded. The audience's eyes were all on him. The guests were looking at him. The executive director, Xiao Lu, had her fists clenched. The TV viewers did not blink at all. Zhong Yi raised his microphone and sang one in a low voice. When did my childhood friends distance themselves from me? When did the people close to me become unfamiliar? The push and pull of the crowd increased the distance between us. In the land of silence, I silently weep into the quiet night. The class of Season 4 was stunned. The class of Season 5 was shocked. Zhong Yi averted his gaze from them. He continued singing in a low voice. When did the croaking frogs and buzzing cicadas become memories? When did our hometowns turn into these crowded places? Skyscrapers tower over everything. Rainbows of neon have sullied the night sky with blemishes. It had been 4 years. Everything was different. A lot of the old alleys had disappeared. A lot of old friends had left. Zhong Yi did not like the current crop of celebrities. Zhong Yi did not like the current state of show business. He sang. Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Is it we who changed the world, or is it the world that changed you and me? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Is it we who changed the world, or is it the world that changed you and me? The same moonlight shines upon the lands as usual. The same winter brings icy rain as usual. The same dust clouds accumulate in the wind as usual. Inhibited. Low-spirited. Melancholic. A lot of people were affected by the mood of the song. All of a sudden, the audience transformed. Many audience members reached up and held out LED light boards spelling out Zhong Yi's name. This instantly lit up the area where the audience was. 1. 10. 100. Everyone was on their feet. Everyone was proudly holding up their LED light boards with Zhong Yi's name. The expressions on those faces were spelling out either determination, calmness, tearfulness, or excitement. The cameras quickly panned over. This scene was earth-shaking. Xiao Lu was stunned. Chen Guang was dumbfounded. Qi Liang was shocked silly. Chu Dong was also startled. The contestants from seasons 4 and 5 all looked back in surprise. Zhong Yi! Zhong Yi! Zhong Yi! Zhong Yi! Behind them, there was an incredibly dense showcase of Zhong Yi's name. Zhong Yi also saw it. He smiled. His eyes reddened. He sang with even more might. The same smiles. The same tears. The same days. The same you and me. Qi Liang and Chu Dong's fans were sitting in the audience as well. But when they saw the crazed crowd of people holding up Zhong Yi's name, they also felt very shocked. Oh my God! Why are there so many of them? Why? Just what is with all of these? Zhong Yi sang loudly. The same smiles. The same tears. The same days. The same you and me. Chen Guang was smiling. Zhong Xia was smiling. He Huan and Xue Kaiki looked at each other in astonishment and also broke into smiles. They had not expected to see something like this. Nobody had expected this. For years had passed, but this fellow still had so many fans around. Chapter 1559, Who will win it all? It had been 4 years. The smiles were still the same. The tears were still the same. The stage was still the same. And the crowd was still the same. In the outside world, many of those who were watching the live broadcast were stunned. The scene that unfolded before their eyes did not feel unfamiliar. On the same stage several years ago, they had witnessed something similar. That crazed crowd, that radiant singer, they had seen it all before. And on this day, a few years later, when Zhong Yi once again stood on the stage of I Am a Singer, no one had expected that the scene would appear again. Back at home. His mother was dumbfounded. What's going on? Li Qingqin said in surprise, they're all holding up little Yi's name? Wu Changhe said, damn, has this kid really lost any popularity? Wu Mo said in amazement, that's a ton of people. At Ninglan's house. The few friends' jaws had dropped. What's with this situation? Who knows? Who said that he's no longer popular? This is kinda scary. At a newly crowned Heavenly Queen studio. The roomful of people were all frowning. This shouldn't be happening. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. On Weibo. My God. Am I seeing things? It's already been 4 years. How can there still be a scene like that? Qi Liang and Chu Dong's fans have totally been outnumbered? What the hell? This is too amazing. Could Zhong Yi really have turned the tide? On the live broadcast, it was Qi Liang's turn to go on stage. The moment Qi Liang stepped on stage, his heart was pounding. This was because he suddenly realized that everything had changed. The audience was still applauding and cheering for him, but it was somewhat different from what he had experienced the week before. He discovered that the audience's applause for him was actually less than what they had given Zhong Yi. What did this mean? Qi Liang was afraid to even think in that direction. Did most of the audience members today happen to be Zhong Yi's fans? Did a lot of his fans happen to be here today? Qi Liang could only think in this way. Over there, the music was already playing. Qi Liang knew that he had no choice but to bring out his trump card. This was a song he had prepared for over a month and was also the song that he could sing the best and was most confident about. The reason he decided to bring it out today at the grand finals was that he badly wanted to become the greatest champion. He started singing. He hit the high notes. He sang with an abundance of emotion. There was nothing to nitpick. When he heard the thunderous applause afterwards, Qi Liang could finally heave a sigh of relief. He smiled and bowed before exiting the stage. Then it was Chu Dong's turn. Chu Dong was also a mixed bag of emotions right now. Regarding Zhong Yi's return, Chu Dong and many of the other newly minted celebrities of the entertainment industry were actually not very bothered by it. In their opinion, Zhong Yi was a has-been and did not have much popularity left. There was no way he could compete against the currently popular celebrities like them. But the facts had left Chu Dong and many others quite terrified. The scene that happened earlier left them in utter disbelief. They couldn't take it easy anymore. The stakes were real now. Chu Dong's fighting spirit became stronger in response. He nodded at the band to signal that he was ready. The music started playing. Chu Dong started singing. He was going all out. Today, Qi Liang and Chu Dong gave it their all. In the audience, the guests gasped. Season 4's class of singers. He's really giving it his all. Brother Qi has pulled out all the stops for his performance. Yeah, it was precisely that tenor that led him to win as the grand champion of Season 4. His tenor is so unique. No one else in the music scene can sing in the same way as him. Season 5's class of singers. Brother Chu has used his ultimate move. Great showing, that's really good. Right, he will definitely advance to the next round. But Qi Liang's performance was very good too. I'm still more optimistic about Chu Dong. This song was in his first album when he debuted. His fans will surely be convinced. Season 1's class of singers. Chen Guang breathed a sigh of relief. They finally finished performing. He Huan smiled and said, "So what do you think of this?" Chen Guang said, "You mean their singing skills?" He Huan said, "Who do you think sang better?" Chen Guang laughed. "You're asking the obvious. Who else?" Shui Kaiki said, "In regard to singing skills, even Grandma Zhong isn't a match for him. This fellow is a natural-born singer. If there's a need to compete on singing skills, there's probably only Zhong Yuanqi who can match him. But now that Sister Zhong has retired from the scene, there isn't another person who can fight him in singing." Zhong Xia said, "I'm just afraid that this isn't a competition of singing." Chen Guang smiled. "The results will be out soon. We'll know for sure this time just how much popularity our Zhonga has got left. Let's wait and see." He Huan said, "Qi Liang and Chu Dong sang very well too." Chen Guang acknowledged that too. The youngsters these days are truly amazing. The performance ended. Online, the fighting had descended into a crazy state. Give your votes to Qi Liang. Vote for Tsu Tsu. Everyone, please vote. The voting will close soon. Vote for Zhong Yi. Get lost, previous poster. Don't vote for Zhong Yi. The fans of the contestants were tussling. Quite a few fans from the other fanbases also came to mess around. Everyone had a celebrity they supported, and there were countless people pulling for votes as they tried to fight for their idols to get the last 2 places in the grand finals. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. The voting ended. The fans were getting nervous. The media was in a state of anxiety. The people from the entertainment industry were looking forward to seeing the results. Who will it be? Who will be the one who gets eliminated in this round? Qi Liang's heart was pounding. He wanted to win. He really wanted to win. Chu Dong looked very calm on the surface, but he was in turmoil on the inside. He kept thinking back to his performance. Were there any mistakes? There shouldn't have been any mistakes. It all depends on how everyone has voted. Surely Zhong Yi isn't going to last any longer, is he? There's no reason why he still remains in the competition. Qi Liang and himself had not given Zhong Yi any chance. On TV, Kui Na had already stepped out onto the stage. For a moment, everyone was staring fixedly at her. The atmosphere became very tense. Kui Na could also feel everyone's gaze on her. She took a deep breath and smiled. The voting results of the third round have been sent to me, but I haven't looked at them yet. In fact, I'm as nervous as you. I dislike the arrival of this moment as well, because it means that another contestant has to leave us. But this is unavoidable. That's what a competition is about. With a pause, she said, "Now then, I'll be announcing the results." She then lowered her head to look at the outcome of the voting that had been sent to the cell phone in her hand. Kui Na was startled for a moment before she looked up again. Honestly speaking, this is a little unexpected to me. The crowd was going crazy with anxiety. Tell us already. Who is it? Who has been eliminated? The TV viewers were also on the edge of their seats. Your sister. Announce it already. Has Zhong Yi been eliminated? Then they heard Kui Na announce, "The contestant who will be leaving us in this round is Qi Liang." That means Chu Dong and Zhong Yi will be heading into the final matchup of this culmination battle. Chen Guang jumped to his feet. Zhong Xie gave Zhong Yi a thumbs up. Xue Kaiki looked happily surprised. He Huan's jaw dropped. The singers from season 4 and 5 were also shocked. Qi Liang? It's Qi Liang. How is that possible? There was an uproar at the venue. Qi Liang's heart sank to the pit of his stomach. He sat backstage, stunned for 2 seconds, but still couldn't react. I've lost? It's me? Chu Dong was also startled. Although he had advanced to the next round, he realized that he didn't feel happy about it. It wasn't because he sympathized with his opponent, Qi Liang, but that he had been frightened by how popular Zhong Yi was. If the atmosphere in the venue earlier did not clearly explain this, then the voting result was the most direct reflection of it. This couldn't be falsified as the votes were cast by the people. Zhong Yi had actually defeated Qi Liang. Chu Dong knew that even if Qi Liang's popularity ranking was 2 places below his, their popularity couldn't have been too far apart. What the hell? Just what the heck is this outcome? However, there was no time for him to keep thinking about this. Chu Dong and Zhong Yi's final round was going to begin immediately. The greatest champion of I Am a Singer would soon be revealed. Chapter 1560, Fleeting Time. At Zhong Yi's maternal grandma's house. Our brother has won. He has won. This is too exciting. He managed to stay in the competition. Qi Liang has been defeated by our brother. At Yao Jiansai's house. This fellow is defying all common sense. Uncle Zhong is almighty. Let's see what song he'll sing for his final performance. At a party in the industry. Hi, who said that he has become old? Don't tell me he might really walk away as the greatest champion. If that happens, it would get really interesting in the entertainment circle. He doesn't really stand a chance there, does he? Who knows? At a music company. Zhong Yi is still hanging on? No one could have expected this. Qi Liang actually lost. Heck! 4 years. It's already been 4 years since he left. It's going to be their last songs next. Let's see how they perform. Back at home. They're going to start drawing lots. The performances will be beginning soon. Will little Yi be able to win? Daddy will win. On TV. The 2 contestants were drawing lots. Only 2 small balls were left to be picked now that only the 2 of them remained. Zhong Yi still did not pick a lot and left it to Chu Dong. Chu Dong took a deep breath and put in his hand to draw out a ball indicating number 1. Chu Dong shrugged. Zhong Yi looked very calm. Chu Dong had a sip of water before standing up to head towards the holding area. On the stage. Applause. Cheers. They were coming from all around the stage. The music playing. Chu Dong's singing rang out. It was a rock song. It was a rock song which Chu Dong had prepared for a very long time. The air has changed. The world has changed. This is our time. A brand new era. This world is a blank canvas. Let's embrace it with pride. This song was called Our Time, and it was a very popular song in these past 2 years. Chu Dong had made some rearrangements to the song and used his own style to reinterpret the melody and emotions. It felt as though this song was being sung for Zhong Yi to hear. Chen Guang narrowed his eyes. Zhong Xie gave a look to Chu Dong, who was on stage. At this moment, Zhong Yi arrived at the backstage holding area. When he heard this song, he gave a slight grin. In his heart of hearts, he also admitted that the times had indeed changed. But so what? What could he do about that? I'm still the same as before. I haven't become old yet. Chu Dong finished performing and left the stage. It was Zhong Yi's turn to take to the stage. The lights dimmed. All of the spotlights focused onto the moon gate. Zhong Yi strode out and appeared on stage. Thunderous applause rang out from the audience. Many of the audience members were looking at him in surprise. A lot of them were still in a state of disbelief at the results of the voting. In the days since Zhong Yi announced his return to the entertainment industry, there were too many doubting voices about him. There was an overall mood of pessimism surrounding his comeback, so no one could have expected Zhong Yi to make it so far on the stage of I Am a Singer. From advancing into the top 4? To the top 3? Then to the final 2? Zhong Yi had pressed on until now. Could he still go further? Could he keep it up? Would he make it past this final step? In the audience, Chen Guang stood up. Zhong Xie stood up. Even before Zhong Yi had started singing, a lot of the audience members were on their feet. This was going to be the final performance of the competition. Zhong Yi had a lot that he wanted to say, and all of it was going to be said with this song. At this very moment, he wasn't nervous in the slightest. Recalling the events of the past few years and the people that he came across, he was deeply moved. He felt his blood pumping with excitement. He wanted to keep fighting, he wanted to keep scolding, he really wanted to keep battling. The music played. Everyone had their eyes on Zhong Yi. It was like this for those watching TV and at the venue. Zhong Yi raised his microphone. I don't know how long I can keep persevering, even though it won't last beyond this lifetime. He clutched his chest and sang steadily. To prevent all this filth from staining my heart, to prevent all this shame from breaking my spirit, I sit on this patch of land and gaze into the distance. While I try to be an upright, stubborn person, while my stubborn heart tries to learn to be strong. Oh, fleeting time. What can you do? Chu Dong was stunned. The guests were stunned. Xiao Lu was stunned. The entire venue was stunned. Zhong Yi smiled and sang. I don't know just how much persistence I have. Although I'm nothing but the velvet among steel, not gonna let fate come between my aspirations, not gonna drag out my life just 'cause the world sucks. 4 years. Those were the hardest 4 years Zhong Yi had to go through in his life. To his wife, child, parents, family, friends, and fans, he had disappeared for that entire period of time. None of them knew where Zhong Yi had gone. Meanwhile, however, Zhong Yi knew exactly where they were. He could see them on TV, he could hear about how they were doing from others, but he couldn't see them. He had been completely isolated from the outside world. He had no one to care about him. Yet he made it through. He had endured and made it through all of that. He was still smiling. He could still laugh. Zhong Yi sang loudly. I stand on this stage looking back on my journey. As a stronger person laughing at my mistakes. While my mistakes intensify my soul's desire. Oh, fleeting time. He thumped his chest. What can you do? Some people started crying. Some people were screaming. Some people were howling. Many people were hit right in the feels. It hit them so hard that they were caught off guard. They had no way to fight back. Zhong Yi sang loudly. I sit on this patch of land and gaze into the distance. While I try to be an upright, stubborn person. While my stubborn heart tries to learn to be strong. Chen Guang gave him a thumbs up. Zhong Xia stood up and gave him a thumbs up. He Huan, Shui Kaiki, and the others also gave a thumbs up in the direction of the stage. The entire audience was on their feet. The TV viewers at home also stood up in shock. Zhong Yi pointed at the sky and sang in a higher register. Oh, fate! What can you do? Oh, fleeting time! What can you do? Q&A went up on stage. The voting window has closed. The final results are out. So then, the contestant who will be crowned as the greatest champion is 1 second. 2 seconds. Q&A said loudly, Teacher Zhong Yi. Back at home. He won. Greatest champion. Little Yi has won. At Zhong Yi's maternal grandma's house. Holy shit. Damn. It's our brother. Our brother has won. At Ninglan's house. Oh my god. He really pulled it off. This fellow is amazing. At Yao Jiansai's house. Good showing, little Zhong. Uncle Zhong, well done. Within the industry. How could this be? Chu Dong lost. Zhong Yi is the greatest champion? On Weibo. Ah. It's Zhong Yi. This is too hecking unexpected. Yeah, how could it possibly be him? In the forums. The greatest champion has emerged. This is so awesome. The Heavenly King has returned, and his ways are still as glorious as ever. The media was stunned. The industry was dumbfounded. The public was astonished. The whole nation was shocked. Fleeting time sent Zhong Yi to the summit of the music industry once more. It wasn't the music industry of 4 years ago. But the music industry 4 years later. 4 years. A whole 4 years. Oh, fate. What can you do? Oh, fleeting time. What can you do? Can support us completed novel house in link below clip. Thank you for coming and love the sharing story.